Look at this. Can we call the game from this exact spot? Lunchtime in South Florida, or maybe breakfast for the late wake-up crowd. And this ballpark barely rested from last night to today's 12:10 Eastern first pitch. Tight games in this series. One more to go for a global audience. This is the MLB Game of the Week. Live on YouTube, presented by Glad You Asked. We're in South Florida to put a lid on a four-gamer between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins at Lone Depot Park. I'm Scott Braun, along with two of my very good friends, Dan Plesac right here, and Cliff Floyd is actually in the studio, just distance for us. You get your own room, Cliff.
Yeah.
And I'll start off with two trivia questions. Just raise your hand if you were the first Marlins player to ever have your own bobblehead at a game. Go ahead. There we go.
Okay.
Now, raise your hand if you were the last Phillies pitcher to close out Veterans Stadium. Okay, good. Just wanted to go over some resume action. And now we can begin. To this global audience on YouTube, we are streaming live. It's free, youtube.com/MLB. We're on MLB's YouTube channel, which features almost 3 million subscribers. In fact, we might hit the magic number today. Someone might click subscribe and be number 3 million on the channel. We do all kinds of amazing things here. We'll chat with players during the game, mic'd up content on the field. It's gold. Many other special features coming your way. And let's start with the visiting team on this matchup. 9 consecutive non-winning seasons for Philadelphia. They've been spending big and trying to wipe that away. MVPs like McCutchen and Harper, and then a little pitching. Zach Wheeler signed away from the Mets. Look at the chunk of change it took to get all of these guys, including JT Realmuto. They re-signed Didi Gregorius as well, 2 years, $28 million. The payroll is north of $200 million this season, Dan. The Philly Fanatic's priceless, by the way.
Yeah, and managing general partner John Middleton literally sold the shirt off the Fanatics' back to put this team together. It hasn't been for a lack of effort, though.
You're right. And hey, right now, McCutchen's out today. Bryce Harper is on the injured list. So is JT Realmuto. So who's going to step up for this team?
I think right now it's going to have to be Rhys Hoskins, and he's starting to hit the ball to all fields as of late. You look at the numbers, Scott, and they're not indicative of a guy that's seeing the ball better. You see, since April 27th, only 2 home runs, but he's starting to make better contact. Hit a big home run in the Phillies' 2-0 win when Vince Velasquez pitched very well. He's starting to hit the ball to right and right center field. When he gets the occasional ball on either third or breaking ball, he'll pull it for a home run. They need Rhys Hoskins in the worst way to get going.
When he debuted in August of 2017, he hit 11 homers in his first 18 games. Look at his NL ranks since his debut. The work has been there. We've seen a little change to his hitting profile this year. Less walks, more strikeouts. He had more power in April than we've seen in May, but he did homer in this series. So he'll help support that luxury bell. And for the Marlins, they're one of the lowest payroll teams in Major League Baseball. Yet, Cliff, they're keeping up. They'll go against Spencer Howard, but they will be throwing Pablo Lopez on the mound today, who loves the home cooking. He's a really nice guy, but then he's not a fun AB.
No, you're absolutely right, Scott. And I think the biggest thing with Pablo, he's made some major strides, just sort of defining his repertoire, understanding what he needs to do to be a good quality pitcher in this league. And when you look at his changeup and some of the things he's been able to do as far as making sure he gets longevity, out of his outings, making sure that he understands what he has to do consistently to get these big league hitters out, especially guys like Rhys Hoskins, is, keep these guys off balance. I've always felt that when you look at the fastball changeup combination, it works. It really keeps guys off balance. And this is going to sort of lean into what I'm talking about. You see his fastball against lefties, getting in on a guy like Josh Bell is not easy to do. Brandon Bell right here, he jams him, gets him off of him. But you have to be able to have the changeup in your sort of secondary pitches to sort of get your fastball where you need to be. You can't be a fastball type of guy all the time. So you see the box move over a little bit. That ball right there is running in on a hitter that is looking and trying to cheat. A guy like Paul Goldschmidt, you're not going to get him out consistently if you're a one-dimensional pitcher. You got to get in those hands. And a guy like Barnes, a really good hitter, also showing quick to the baseball. Pablo has done a terrific job of keeping the guys off balance, utilizing his changeup. And when you talk about this rotation and talking about length and longevity, not just this year, but long term, Pablo Lopez is going to be in the mix because he's learning how to pitch. His ERA has gone down. from 2019 when it was over 5, and now he's around 2.7. That is him understanding what he has to do. And you know, I'm down there watching these guys. It's going to be fun to watch.
StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, showing us all the strikeouts with the changeup. His changeup usage, second highest in Major League Baseball to Lucas Giolito. So we'll see those two on the mound. There are some big names missing for both sides. And for more on documenting that, let's send it over to Christina Di Nicola, fourth member of our crew. And she is in Miami at the ballpark. Christina?
Thanks, Scott. I'm here at Lone Depot Park, where the injury-depleted Marlins hope to get a big reinforcement this weekend when they begin a 3-city trip in Boston. Center fielder Starling Marte began a rehab assignment with AAA Jacksonville on Tuesday, where he played 2 games. Now, at the time of the injury, he had started all 15 games in center and had moved toward the top of the lineup because of his production. In his absence, the Marlins have gone with 4 different center fielders, and none have stuck. They were so desperate for production that they even turned to Adam Duvall with just 1 inning of experience. Needless to say, the Marlins will welcome Marte gladly. Back to you, Scott.
Pablo Lopez loves the home cooking. He loves his changeup too, and he's on the mound for the world to see. Live on YouTube, lineups in first pitch from Miami on the way. At Lone Depot Park, Marlins, Phillies wrapping up a 4-game series. Marlins have taken 2 of the first 3. There it is. Roof is closed for a 4th consecutive day. I know the windows were open yesterday. We'll check with Christina later on what it's like at the ballpark. 6th season for Don Mattingly running the Miami Marlins, and he actually goes up against Joe Girardi, who runs the Phillies. But Girardi's the one who actually took the Yankees job back in 2008. Second place for that job was Don Mattingly. These two have many connections, of course. Donnie, a Yankee, an MVP, and Joe winning a World Series with the Yanks. And more on those managers in a bit. Joe's lineup card is presented by Glad You Asked. Here's the Phillies. Switch hitting Roman Quinn getting his first start this season in left field. Brad Miller, 4th position in 4 days. He's at 2nd. Rhys Hoskins had the huge homer a couple days ago in a win for the Phils, and he's had a 5-game hit streak. Odubel Herrera in the cleanup spot for the 2nd time in his career. Bohm back in the lineup today. Matt Joyce gets the start in right. Ronald Torreyes has had good numbers against the Marlins this year. Rafael Marchand makes the start, and he'll catch Spencer Howard. But first on the mound for the Marlins, it's the great Pablo Lopez.
You know what? One of the things that sticks out, he has a tremendous changeup. We talked to manager Don Mattingly before the game, and he likes the usage of the changeup. He just doesn't want him to fall in love with it. You take a look at his season, that fine ERA of 2.73. I think more importantly, see the walks, the strikeouts is good. Less hits than innings pitched, and he's one of the main reasons why. Look at that home ERA for Pablo, 0.61 at home. So home cooking fits Pablo just fine.
It gets me thinking about today's odds, courtesy of BetMGM. So 6.5 is the line. Hey, it makes sense. When Pablo Lopez is doing what he's doing at home, I don't know. Maybe you're going under that mark.
This is a pretty big series, too. This National League East, Scott, is pretty well bunched up. The Marlins are in 2nd place, tied with the Braves, 1.5 games out of 1st place. And the Phillies are only 2 games back. But when you look at this Marlins team, they might be better situated pitching-wise than any of the other teams in the East. They're healthy. They're hoping to get Sixto Sanchez back before the end of the season. So they should get better on the mound also.
Let's play ball in Miami. Pablo Lopez starts Roman Quinn with a strike on the outside corner. It's the Phillies matching up with the Marlins. Scott Braun, Dan Plesac, Cliff Floyd, and Christina Di Nicola. Quinn 5 for his last 11, and he is lightning fast, Cliff. In fact, top 3, I would say, in Major League Baseball. And if you look at sprint speed, he's usually up there.
Well, so big for him, excuse me, just getting his opportunity and taking advantage of it, fellas. And that's what it boils down to for these guys, especially a guy like Quinn, being a good table setter for this team. When you're missing star players like Bryce Harper, guys like Quinn have to get on base and cause some havoc on the base pass.
Quinn went 2 for 3 yesterday, and the count's 2-2. Let's get to our pitcher breakdown presented by Glad You Asked. Pablo Lopez. What's he all about, Dan?
Well, he's all about, he has a terrific changeup, and he's not afraid to use it. Changeup is the key. Fastball command, that sets up that changeup. And home sweet home, we touched on it. 0.61 ERA. He loves pitching in Miami.
His overall ERA just keeps getting better. He's had 2.73 this season. Last year, a team high 11 starts and a career best 3.61 mark. So the numbers keep improving. He keeps upping the changeup usage. 2 earned runs or fewer in 8 of 10 starts this season.
This is a great at bat by Quinn. This is exactly what you want if you Joe Girardi and the Phillies. You know, a guy that's giving you a look for everybody else in the rest of the lineup.
3-2 on its way home. Right side, that's a fair ball.
Hurry.
Diaz tossing to Lopez, got him. Beat him by maybe a step. Roman Quinn never thinks he's out with that speed. Should we review this one?
You have to. And Quinn's walking back to the he ain't walking back to the dugout.
Yeah, that's one Paco Lopez there needs to do a little bit better job. I don't want to say he fell asleep at the wheel, but made it awful close there at first base.
Oh, he's out. Wait.
Let's get a look. Break it down, Cliff.
Well, you see Quinn's out the box, but Pablo is late to Dan's point. Man, that was really close. Pablo made up for, you know, maybe a little mental lapse by getting over there. I don't know.
Ooh.
You got I'm checking that one from Joe.
They don't, and if Quinn goes to check himself, he might not be pleased with the result on the replay.
And that was easy look too. That was our first look at it.
Now it's Brad Miller, 7 for his last 17, starting at second base today, and connecting shallow center field. It's Magneuris Sierra for out number 2. So let's show you the Marlins defense, presented by Glad You Asked. Sierra's in the outfield playing center, Duvall on one side, and he's great. Dickerson on the other. Shortstop Miguel Rojas, really the captain of the team, and he's playing on the left side with John Birdie in the infield. Isan Diaz and Lewin Diaz on the right side. Lewin just called up today. Lopez playing catch with Sandy Leon. And number 3 hitter Rhys Hoskins about to dig in. Dan, do you think they should have challenged that call, though, for Quinn?
Yeah, that was pretty close. I mean, that's about as bang as it gets. This guy stepping in the box right here, Rhys Hoskins. With Bryce Harper out of the lineup, McCutchen getting the day off today. This is a big bat in the lineup. Phillies feel pretty good, though. The last week to 10 days, Scott, he's starting to swing the bat a lot better. You see on the year with 10 home runs, but he's starting to spray the ball around a little bit better around the diamond. And he's a big part of where the Phillies are going.
He's changed his game a bit, too. Less walks, a bit less passive this season, and more aggressive.
It's helped him out, Scotty. That's a good point because, you know, he was basically a guy that, you know, he had to be exactly what he wanted to swing the bat. And that's just not going to get it done. He's too good of a hitter to be that passive. But you see the numbers right there. They don't lie. And when he puts when he's swinging the bat, he has such a good eye. You know, he has just a good eye as far as, you know, knowing what he wants to do when he's in the box. And he has to sort of expand when he needs to. So he's been really good this year, and it's good to see for a guy like Rhys.
Had a big swing of the bat on Tuesday. Phillies 2-0 win, hit a solo, 2-run bomb. Very well pitched game by Vince Velasquez on Tuesday night. This is a big one for the Phillies. They've already lost 2 of the first 3 of this series. They'd like to get out of here with a split, Scott.
That home run on Tuesday for Rhys was off a 1-2 pitch. I'm rounding up, Paul Severino. I know you're watching. 100 miles an hour, I'll call it, on a fastball up from Sandy Alcantara. 410 feet. And Rhys Hoskins doesn't always show a ton of emotion on the field. He was fired up, turned to the dugout and said, "Let's go, boys." And he swings through on the 2-2. Pablo Lopez and that changeup. 3 up, 3 down to start the day for the man who loves pitching at home. To introduce you you to Don Mattingly's starting lineup presented by Glad You Asked. The home team, the Miami Marlins, with Magneuris Sierra leading the way. Miguel Rojas back in the lineup today in the 2 spot. Dickerson 3, Duvall 4, and look at the power he's had since the beginning of last season. Lewin Diaz in the lineup today and just called up this afternoon. Sandy Leon will catch. Isan Diaz is playing second base, batting 7th. John Birdie with a big knock yesterday for the Marlins in the 8th. And Pablo Lopez, the pitcher, in the 9 spot. And the opposing pitcher on Philadelphia, Spencer Howard, making his 2nd start of the season, coming off an interesting, I would say, weird outing on Saturday.
He has, his velo. He started out the game 95 to 97 miles an hour. Big, strong guy. 45th overall pick in the 2017 draft out of Cal Poly. Interesting story. Didn't even have a scholarship. Walked his way onto the baseball team, and a couple of years later found himself, the Phillies select him 45th overall. Velo is good breaking ball to go along with it. Like a lot of young pitchers, I don't want to say rush through the system, but with the COVID shortened season last year of 2020, made his debut against the Braves. Big time fastball. A little bit of concern he hasn't been able to maintain or hold that velo in his last start against the Red Sox. Came out of the gates blowing pretty good, and then third, fourth inning, Scott, just 2-3 mile an hour dip in the velo.
1-1 to Sierra. A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, so Dan, 95.3 miles an hour in his first 2 innings in that last start. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud as we show you the arsenal. A lot of 4-seam fastballs this year. He's upped that. But the problem you're referring to is in the 3rd inning, which was eventually his final inning, 92.9 miles an hour. Actually removed in the 4th, but couldn't do much against the Boston lineup after the first couple frames.
Oh, what
nice
a catch. See? That's why you bring your gloves to the game.
There's always a big debate about the age limit for allowing a glove in the ballpark, but do you guys care about that?
Absolutely not.
No, you know what? If you're going to pay and you're going to go watch a ball game, get a chance, I'd rather catch one with the glove than take one in the hand and possibly break my hand. I know if a foul ball's coming my way, I'd rather have a guy in front of me with a glove on than trying to barehand it. There it is. There's a good look at it. That's an old school glove right there, too.
I think he made that one himself.
Look at that glove right there. That glove has some wear and tear on it.
Swing and a miss. Spencer Howard picks up a strikeout. Yeah, that guy's got your back. You can tell. Catch probability probably about 12% on that snag.
All right, let's take a look at Spencer Howard. Big, strong guy. 6'3", 205 pounds. Needs to harness his emotions. He's a guy that comes out guns a-blazing. First pitch strikes are the key to keep that pitch count down and be mindful of base runners. With a lot of young pitchers, there's some speed in this Marlins lineup. Pay attention to the Marlins when they get on base.
Your pitcher breakdown presented by Glad You Asked. He started off on fire, like I mentioned, on Saturday against a really good Red Sox lineup. He struck out 4 of the first 6 batters faced. Here's Miguel Rojas, over 400 against the Phillies since the start of last year. Big home road splits, too. 329 hitter this year at home, 225 on the road. There's a strike.
He's been so valuable for this Marlins team, fellas. I think when they had Jazz Chisholm go down, Manley inserted him to the leadoff spot, and he just kept going. And he's such a good hitter as far as understanding the strike zone. He's gotten better each year.
Cliff, can they name him captain? I know there's not an official title there, but I feel like with Derek Jeter as the CEO of the team, it would just be fitting. Mickey Rowe's been there for a while. He's the guy.
I mean, yeah, they can. You wonder how they go about that, but I mean, he is the guy. He comes to the park ready to work every single day. All the guys love him. He keeps everybody head up. And he's one of the reasons they're a game under 500 and playing better baseball. I'm telling you, the Marlins are here for a long time, and he's a big part of it.
Jammed him. Going to be a tough play at short, and the throw is on time. Ronald Torreyes with a throw on the run for the out.
You can see why right there, why the Phillies really like Spencer Howard. That's a good fastball and a guy that Rojas that can turn on the heater pretty good. This ball eats him up here. You touched on a nice play too by Rhys Hoskins. See Torres, he goes into the hole right here. Knows that he doesn't have a whole lot of time. Backhand and throw across his body on the money. One of the things the Phillies need to do is tighten up the defense. It hurt him again last night, Scott. 8th inning last night, a double play that wasn't turned led to what started to be a big inning. A pass ball also hurt. They're putting a lot of pressure on a bullpen that struggled a little bit at times, but they need to do a better job catching the baseball.
They rank last in baseball in defensive runs saved.
You know, and it's not for lack of effort. We had a chance to talk to Joe Girardi before the game. They've been working at it like all teams do, taking ground balls, turning double plays. It's just a matter at 12:05 or 7:05 for a night game, putting it all together.
Upstairs to Corey Dickerson.
You know, it's funny when you watch Howard, he reminds me a lot of a former Philly pitcher, Jared Eichhoff, kind of the same kind of body build. Jared Eichhoff, unfortunately, just so many injuries limited his time with the Philadelphia Phillies, but a kind of similar style, similar built. Attack with a fastball.
Dickerson connects deep center and caught by Herrera, who made a sick play yesterday. 3 up, 3 down on the other side. 1 scoreless inning in the books in Miami. Let's go back to May 23rd. Zach Wheeler dealing. Fastball up in the zone. Loves it. He's changed his approach a little bit with Philadelphia. Hey, it is working for him. Comes over from the New York Mets a couple years ago. Big signing by the Phillies, and he is anchored there towards the top of the rotation, and he is anchored in the dugout chatting with us for this half inning. Zach, great to have you on board. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you this season. The 2.38 ERA as we show the numbers, 78 strikeouts, and Odubel Herrera, Alec Boehm, and Matt Joyce coming up for the Phillies, and also the YouTube creators in the live commentary section. You know what to do. Any questions that you have for Zach, we'll relay some of them if we have time. Odubel Herrera bounces out.
Hurry up.
1 down. All right, I'll get to my first question. Zach, how is this season going for you on a personal standpoint, pitching-wise? How do you evaluate what you're doing? And I'll double down. How nice is it to be pitching in front of many more human beings, too?
Yeah, it's going well for me so far this year. You know, usually I get off to a little slow start and usually turn on the second half for some reason. But, you know, this year, doing well so far. You know, just getting ahead of guys and just attacking the zone definitely helps.
Hey, Zach, it's Dan. Was there any concern coming off of a 60-game sprint that you guys had last year? Did you have to alter your workouts or your throwing program before this season started?
No, not necessarily. I just handled it like a normal off season, and you know, like you said, we only threw. I think I only made 11 starts last year, so I've done that plenty of times in the past because I've been hurt, and even in the minor leagues, you know, you only throw a certain amount of innings. They protect you these days, so I think we're used to it more than people actually think. And yeah, I mean, you know, this year, hopefully, you know, we can stay healthy. There are a lot of injuries this year because of the short season, I think, but so far so good for me, knock on wood.
Zach, Cliff here, man. Hey, you just talked about a lot of injuries, unfortunately, but for you, is there a little bit more pressure on you to be that stopper guy to make sure that these, you know, if you have a losing streak, you know, you can stop that with your outing?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's playing with those guys in New York, man. I mean, it was an awesome staff, 1 through 5. So you're out there trying to beat those guys every single outing, and I've carried that here with me. I feel like, you know, you got Knowles and Eflin, and you know, Vinny's tossing the ball well right now, and then you got Spencer. I mean, you know, we got a lot of good arms here too. So you try to go out there and you know, outperform the guy in front of you. You know, friendly competition. But yeah, I mean, you know, like the other day we lost 4 games in a row. I wasn't gonna let the Red Sox beat me. You know, you got to have that mindset going in, no matter, you know, how the results turn out. You got to have that mindset going in that you are going to be that stopper.
A ball and a strike to Matt Joyce with 2 outs. I'll get at least one question in from our YouTube creators. And Jolly Olive says, what's it like being division rivals against a team you were a part of for so many years in the Mets? This one driven deep right, and Duvall's there. Can you give me a 10-second answer?
Yeah, no, it's fun playing against those guys. You know, I made a lot of good friends over there in my time, and you know, it's fun pitching against those guys and competing against them.
Zach, I wish we had more time. We enjoyed it, though. Quick one so far. Thank you for the time, all right?
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
That's Zach Wheeler. Again, a 1-2-3 frame for the Phillies offense. Back to the Marlins in the second. Time for our first poll question on YouTube. You can get involved on your phone, on your computer. You see this, your favorite Philly fanatic moment. We'll show you some options video-wise. So if you want to wait for your vote, that's cool. Dan, can you pick from one?
Oh, I already have mine. It's the Tommy Lasorda stretch. Listen, especially when you came to Veterans Stadium, you were prepared for the fanatic to lay it on you, and he laid it on Tommy Lasorda.
He did. We have video. Don't worry. It's coming soon. As we're in the last of the second, Adam Duvall takes a strike on the outside corner. Scott Braun, Dan Plesac, Cliff Floyd, and Christina DiNicola. Cliff, did you get to see the options to make a choice?
I'm following Dan. I mean, that's the best one of all four of those, right?
Yeah, I think so. So we'll have to show that one first. You guys are heavily influencing the audience. I have a feeling that's going to be the case. Duvall strikes it left center. Deep, warning track, and off the wall. It's played by Quinn, and he'll truck into second base with a stand-up double to lead off the inning.
That one.
Yeah.
Looked like a first pitch breaking ball, too, from Spencer Howard. Looked like that slider, and Duvall, known for hunting a fastball. I think the idea was right. This one just kind of spun over the inner third. You can see the grip right there. He's on the side of the ball. This ball intended to be down and away. It's one of those front door up and in. Kind of speed up the bat speed of the ball.
Yeah, you know, Danny, and you think about this lineup, they have some youth, obviously, but they have some veteran players and presence from a guy like Adam Duvall, who's been around the league for a long time, Jesus Aguilar, who's not in the lineup. But this is what Duvall's been doing this season, and, I mean, he's been huge for this Marlins team.
Lewin Diaz takes a strike. That would have been a home run in 13 MLB ballparks, almost half.
And they move the fences in, so.
That's right. Moved him in about 12 feet in center and right center.
So they never affected really left center.
Nope. Diaz fouls it back. Unfortunately, they didn't move it in 12 feet for Duvall in his favorite spot.
This is a little bit, that last swing is a little bit indicative of the way the baseball is played in 2021. You would normally think with your 5-hole hitter, you look to try to hit something on the right side to get Duvall over to third base. All bets off now on an 0-2 count. You're kind of in defense mode, but that get him over, get him in, that baseball is kind of going out the window.
I found that clip for you, Dan.
This is classic fanatic Tommy Lasorda. Those are the good old days of the vet, 1988. Tommy took exception to this right here. Here he comes. And he's going after him. Look at Tommy. And then he hits him with it.
Oh, can we get an opposing manager to do something like that in Philly? That would be nice. That's a nice called strike 3 from Spencer Howard. Second K of the day as he paints the bottom of the zone.
Tommy must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed that morning, Cliff, and he had his mind made up when he was going to the ballpark. He was going to get a piece of the fanatic.
Yes, he did. That's a great pitch right there by Spencer Howard. And, you know, a bad at bat by Diaz, and then you alluded to it. That's just not going to get it done. I've been talking about opportunities for these guys. If you want to play and play consistently, you have to get that guy to third base, man. Especially when you're talking about winning games and putting yourself in position. You're a game and a half out of first place.
Especially a team like the Marlins, they're not going to hit a lot of home runs. This ballpark is so spacious in Miami. They play in a lot of one-run games, low-scoring games. They're not a team that's going to thump a lot. So, you know, you like to take advantage. You have a leadoff double, get that guy over to third. then you have a veteran guy like Sandy Leone, and there's a guy that can handle the bat in his day, Don Mattingly. It's amazing he's not into the Hall of Fame, one of the great hitters in the 80s.
1985 AL MVP, 6-time All-Star.
8 home runs in 8 consecutive games in 1988. This guy had done it all. Gold Glover at first base.
Leone, deep left. Quinn at the track. He makes the catch, tagging up his Duvall, and he's in there.
Yeah, Donnie Baseball could do it all. We were just talking about him, that sac fly right there. And what a handler of the bat that he was. He didn't strike out a whole lot. And he was an equal opportunity basher, too. Hit righties and lefties. Pretty good managerial career, too, right?
Yeah. Awesome, man. He can handle that glove, too, couldn't he, D?
Oh, could he ever. Donnie Baseball. You know you're good when you're like Teddy Ball Game, Donnie Baseball, right?
They tag you all different type of nicknames.
18 at-bats against you, Dan.
Pride and joy of Evansville, Indiana. He and I both from the Hoosier State.
Breaking ball just misses from Howard, so 2 down. Duvall 90 feet away from a scoring chance.
Well, Scotty, you can't throw out the bats and not give the average.
Well, I was waiting for Dan to ask.
Yeah, well,
I know you're going to say there was a home run in there because he took me walk-off, too.
Oh.
He did have a walk-off
line
homer.
Drive in the bleachers in that short porch at the old Yankee Stadium.
You don't forget those, do you?
Never.
6 for 18.
That's a 6 for 18. See, he was really good because Dan, I'm telling you, every time I think about lefty relievers, I'm like, never want to face him. I'm just never want to face him. But 6 for 18.
I have dreams of about 3 or 4 home runs. Cecil Fielder hit one out of County Stadium off me. Cliff Floyd took me straight away center field in Shea Stadium on a night. I'm telling you, there wasn't a man alive going to hit a ballpark out of Shea that night. Cliff, I know you remember it well. It was cold, it was damp, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to see how far you can hit it. I'm not walking you. Boy, that plan didn't work. Buggy with me.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Cliff 5 for 18 against DP.
And that bomb was a loud one. It should have counted for like 4 of them. Seriously, there are some nights when you know, especially when you're playing in those open air stadiums where it's cold and it's damp, it's early in the year. Shea was a really good ballpark, a pitcher's ballpark. The last thing you're thinking was somebody to take you deep, particularly the straightaway center field. Cliff, he bucked that myth.
Got lucky.
It's 3-1 to Isan Diaz. Duvall started off the inning with a double, then strikeout, fly out to left. Diaz is 4 for his last 9 over a 3-game span, and now fills up the count.
Really gutsy pitch right there. 3-1 changeup, and that's what Spencer Howard's going to have to do to hang around at the big league level. Listen, he has a good fastball. We've seen that. This is a really good pitch. This is a pitch a guy 2 or 3 years into the big leagues has to master. Now you can just about do anything you want. Right now with Diaz, you've shown the changeup to slow him down. You can throw anything in your arsenal.
Ooh. Just missed, I guess.
This guy said, you guess, huh?
I mean, we can show that and see what the box says.
This is a really good pitch, 3-2. Another changeup. Might have been a hair down in the strike zone. There you can see the grip, the circle changeup grip. Well located. You can see Diaz thinking it's a fastball in, kind of leaks out there.
And see, for me, I'm looking at that from the standpoint of catcher framing, Dan, and how much he pulled that ball up. I think when you're framing the baseball, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. It's part of the game now. But when you're framing too much, it gives away a great pitch like that, in my opinion.
John Birdie connects the other way. Joyce hustling towards the line, and he makes the catch in stride to retire the side. Marlins lead 2-on, still scoreless after 2. Trevor Rogers is going to join us in the next half inning. YouTube creators, bring on those questions.
Oh, no. You did say you wanted popcorn before, didn't you? What are you doing?
He's drunk. He's got to be drunk. Look at it. Just destroying our booth.
What are you doing? Oh, my goodness.
Why do people like you?
Look at Tom McCarthy and John Krug. They're like, what in the world are you doing to our booth?
Oh, my gosh. Your favorite Philly fanatic moment. So the popcorn delivery is an option. We showed you Lasorda, and the MLB account said the Lasorda moment still gets insane numbers on the YouTube channel. And joining us right now live on a global stage on YouTube, our Glad You Asked interview, Trevor Rogers. Trevor, your thoughts on the Philly fanatic? Do you have a favorite moment or a favorite mascot?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Philly Fanatic's definitely up there. You never know what he's going to do. Always keeps it light and fun, and definitely gives the opposing team a little grief, that's for sure.
Thanks for hanging with us today for this half inning. Off to a superb start to your season. And also, most importantly, I watched you last time out. There's the towel. You need it. You smashed a ball that Rhys Hoskins couldn't bring down. This is a nice play at third by Birdie. Throws across for the out to retire Ronald Torreyes. One away. But let's start with your bat first. Trevor, you know what I'm talking about from the other day? Couldn't bring the ball down, was Hoskins. I think they originally called it an error, but gave you the knock, right?
Yeah, I think at least I hope they gave me the knock, man. I got the barrel out there, and I got all that one, that's for sure.
You smoked it. Look at Birdie make a sweet play.
You got to make sure they give you that knock, Trevor. They don't come easy.
Yeah, I need a few more. I need to pad the stats, that's for sure.
Hey, Trevor, it's Dan. What have you done differently in 2021 as opposed to last year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think probably my changeup. Definitely developing the changeup, lefty on lefty and to righties as well. Changeup has been huge for me, and then developing the slider. I've been able to throw it backdoor a few times and then to the back foot. So really developing my secondary pitches has been huge for me this year.
Hey, Travis, Cliff here. Without messing with Jesus, who's sitting right there to your left, how big has he been for that clubhouse? I know he's been big on the field, but as far as the young clubhouse, how big has he been? I know he's messing with you right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he's been huge. Yeah, he's been awesome. Especially to these young guys, and just to see how it goes about his business every day. It's definitely a good guy to look up to, a good guy to follow, and I'm glad to have him on our ball club. That's for sure.
We do the YouTube Player of the Game trophy later, but you're getting all kinds of goodies right now for doing this interview.
Yeah, no joke. Teammates haven't given me this much attention in forever. I can't believe this.
We should do this every day.
Surprised they even know my name. Yeah, I'm all for it. I am all for it. Getting candy, getting drinks.
Oh, man.
I'm loving it right now.
Yeah,
I'm getting spoiled.
This is room service, dugout service right now with Trevor Rogers. I love it. Rafael Marchand is on first after the base hit. Torreyes was robbed by Birdie. And now number 9 hitter, the pitcher, Spencer Howard. I've got one from our YouTube creators. 5 Point Vids asks, Trevor, as a lifelong pitcher, how do you feel about pitchers hitting, and how do you prepare to take at-bats?
I just try and get the job done. Everyone in the stadium probably knows I'm going to bunt 95% of the time. So if I can get the bunt down and just get the guys over and get my guys an opportunity to score some runs, then I'll do my job. I don't expect anything less or anything more, to be honest with you.
Trevor, were you a good hitter in high school?
I could handle a little bit of bat in high school. In New Mexico, we use wood bat in high school, so that I enjoyed using wood bat. I was usually 3 or 4 hole, so I had a little pop, a little juice in the swing. Not the prettiest looking swing, but it got the job done, that's for sure.
Hey, does New Mexico get enough love as a state for baseball? Your cousin's former Marlin Cody Ross, right?
Right. Yeah, we're kind of really low key, not really known for baseball, but definitely up in Albuquerque area, there's some really good teams, La Cueva and El Dorado. So a lot of people don't know about it, but we got some good competition in New Mexico.
You're helping the state make more of a name for itself. Most strikeouts by a lefty and first career starts ever. You're on the list with some big-time names, right, Dan? Look at these.
Whenever you're on a list with Fernando Valenzuela and Herb Score, you're doing something. Add Francisco. How about Larry Allen and Ron Guidry to that list? So Trevor Rogers in some elite company.
Yeah, he is, man. You know, Trev, when you look at this, I mean, the roster and the rotation, how it's situated, I mean, it's so young. Where do you sort of go when you need to sort of find yourself? I mean, you haven't had to. You've been outstanding, but you know, if you want to seek help, you know, on this team, everybody's so young. Where do you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Always go to Mel, our pitching coach. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. Really knowledgeable. So I pick his brain every opportunity I get. And yeah, we're still young, but I mean, Sandy and Pablo, they've been up here for a couple of years. So I try to pick their brains because they've been successful up here. And then we got some really experienced bullpen guys like Richard Blyer, Bass, Detweiler. So pretty much both sides, bullpen and starters, I kind of try and pick their brains to see what gives them success.
And that's a foul ball off the bat of Roman Quinn, leadoff hitter for Philadelphia. Trevor Rogers with us right now on YouTube. What was it like facing a team in back-to-back starts coming off your last one?
Yeah, you know, it's always a little tougher, you know. It definitely gives a little bit more advantage to the hitter. So I definitely know I'm going to have to go and mix my patterns a little bit more. I can't give them the same mix more than once, you know. But yeah, it's always a fun challenge. I enjoy the competition. I just got to bear down even more and make pitches when I need to.
Hey, Trevor, who's your inspiration? Is there someone that, and it could be someone in the past or someone currently, that you really watch, that you're rolling back clips to see what they're doing with their repertoire or their delivery?
Yeah, all-time favorite is the big unit, Randy Johnson. That's my guy. I always watch clips from him. Obviously, I caught him at the back end of his career, but when he was on the Mariners early in his career, just 102 from three-quarter, maybe even a little lower. It was just amazing to watch, and I can't get enough of watching his stuff and how he went about his business.
Apparently, Randy Johnson came out to watch you when you were pitching in Arizona. We're showing your last start on Monday against the Phillies, getting the job done. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 3 hits. Coming off the previous outing, career high 7 2/3 1 run against Philadelphia. There's the called strike. So, Trevor, we appreciate the time. Pablo Lopez, your teammate, did good work there in the 3rd. Thanks and good luck the rest of the way. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you, man.
Trevor Rogers, the great Marlins starting staff, showing itself off again this afternoon. Presented by Glad You Asked, a YouTube original series that examines timely questions around the impact of systemic racism on our communities and in our daily lives. All episodes are available right now to watch on YouTube for free. No subscription required. Head over to YouTube and just search Glad You Asked, only on YouTube. Scott Braun, Dan Plesac, Cliff Floyd, and Christina DiNicola. And look what wins our first poll question. Fave Philly fanatic moment. Tommy Lasorda strikes back. I feel like we influenced that because you both picked it. We also showed the video, which was money.
No, I think when you pass the test of time, 1988, right? In YouTube, a lot of the younger viewers, younger generation, upbeat, and it's good. When you can make it through 1988 to 2021, it's special.
You're doing something right. Roller to Hoskins, and he'll step on the bag for the first out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
I think Joe Girardi and the Philly staff going to really keep a watchful eye on Spencer this inning. Going back to that last start you referred to against the Red Sox, a big dip in velocity. so far has looked really sharp, commanding the fastball, mix in a couple of breaking balls. We've seen some really good changeups. There is a good fastball, 95.
Oh, and Alec Bohm tried to make a play and might have hurt himself. Looks like he's favoring his right arm.
Man. I'll tell you, that's the last thing this Philly team needs. Wow. Head bend.
Collided with the side gate there, and it's short, and he's tall, Cliff, so he kind of tumbles over it.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing in pregame that can prepare you for that, right? You talk about getting your work in and all that stuff, but when you have the nets that are protect the fans, and I get it, this is what you risk as far as organizations and their players. So
you can kind of see that little indentation where it sticks out.
Yeah.
Though it's padded right there. I think initially he caught that left hip area. One of the things too, you'll see players they're not as hesitant to go towards the foul lines with that screening, that netting. You almost have a false sense of security that's going to soften the blow. So that's a terrific effort there by Bohm. Taking a look at his right hand, and there's the look at the netting that throughout Major League Baseball now helped to protect fans. We've seen a lot of players make catches and fall into that netting and use it almost like as a pillow to fall on.
Like a trampoline sometimes in the outfield if there's some give to it.
Well, there's no give in that one. That was some give, yeah, but I don't know if he really wanted it.
Bohm's okay. 2 balls and a strike now to leadoff hitter Magneuris Sierra. Well, if you think about it, if there's no netting there and he does go for that baseball that hard, then his face probably lands in the seats.
Pretty good movement on that fastball right there. A couple of his fastballs, he's had that tailing motion going away from a lefty. That ball appeared to have a little bit of cut on it. See Marchand sitting down and away, and just a little natural cut. Corbin Burns of the Brewers has really brought that pitch in vogue right now. There's another good fastball at 94 miles an hour. So if you're George Girardi right now, you have to like what you've seen. His pitch count, that was his 35th pitch. He's maintained his velocity. We've seen a good assortment of changeups. It's been a good pitch. Has slipped a couple of breaking balls over for strikes. So far, so good.
Got him.
Man, what a nice changeup. I always thought that was the best combination, or sort of the one that gave me the most trouble is that fastball changeup combo.
There you see the grip, the circle changeup. And it gets away with this one here. The intended target was down and away. You can see Marchand sitting down and away and reaching across his body. Most of the time when your catcher has to reach that far away to try to bring a ball, even though it's a strike, it's a difficult pitch for an umpire to call for a strike.
And see, Dan, for me, that's the difference in Spencer right there, is being able to get a swing on the first pitch other than your fastball. Because if, as a hitter, our meeting tells us that he's throwing his fastball, his four seam, 72.7% of the time this season. Okay, so that's up from 56% last year. So I'm giving you numbers, so we see all this. And then you come with that, and it gets you off the fastball enough to where you fly out to right field like that.
Lazy fly ball for Matt Joyce, and another perfect inning. 2 out of 3 so far today for young Spencer Howard. Fourth in Miami, and MLB is currently in the midst of its Food Fight, a bracket competition where all 30 teams put their ballpark's signature food item against each other. Best food in baseball. Did you guys eat lunch? Cliff, did you eat breakfast?
Oh, look at the boomstick. Oh, man.
When you show me this guy, I'm ready.
Dan, can you handle that?
Oh, could I ever? How about there's a guy all the way down from South Philly.
Man, I'm definitely going. Dan, are we definitely going with the Philly cheesesteak?
Oh,
for sure.
I'm going to tell you something. The weather's warming up. More and more fans allowed to the ballpark. you will see me at Citizens Bank Ballpark the next homestand.
Yeah?
Oh, for sure. Just a short drive. Great ballpark food, great ambiance.
Weekly handled by Lewin Diaz, and more weak contact from Pablo Lopez. That's his specialty, to sit down Brad Miller. Now here comes Rhys Hoskins, who is one of the players mic'd up for us today.
I'm a cereal guy through and through.
There you go. There you go.
What about Waffle Crisp?
Oh, never had that.
Oh, man.
The sneaky one that not a lot of people got into, Golden Grams.
Love Golden Grams. They just get soggy super fast. So, hell of a play, dude. Nice job.
I love that. Rhys Hoskins, one of the leaders on this Phillies team. He's been there a while now, and
cereal connoisseur too, right?
See the cereal options.
Doesn't like it to get soggy quickly.
Yeah,
I like that.
He's absolutely right. You better, when you pour the milk, it's like right now. Don't check your phone, nothing. You better eat them right then and there.
Yeah, there's a shot clock on that, right?
It
Otherwise
is.
it expires.
It's a wrap. Nothing worse than soggy cereal.
I'm going to tell you something. You know, having pitched for 18 seasons in the big leagues, I never really enjoyed ballpark food until I was done playing. Retired in 2003, and I was a limited season ticket holder with the Chicago White Sox, and I could not get over what I was missing for 18 years with ballpark food. Oh, Scott, if you've never, it's worth making a trip to drive to Citizens Bank Ballpark just to go out in that left and right center field area, and they have just world-class food there now. I'm telling you, right there. Philly cheesesteak with some French fries. Look at these guys getting after it. Right? Look out.
Rhys Hoskins goes down. That one avoided him, but just barely. A close call. Some chin music.
Man. Well, I know he's mic'd up, but we probably won't hear it.
No.
After that pitch, what he's saying.
How scary is this, Cliff?
Oh man, look. You're so dialed in. You're like hit. Oh boy, get away, turn. And that is what you're taught. You taught to turn away from that baseball just like that. We've seen a few guys, one being, Giancarlo Stanton getting hit in the face. I mean, you got to be prepared for a lot, man.
Kevin Pillar a couple of weeks ago with the Mets. You can see Hoskins wears that extension, almost looks like a football helmet that's on the side of that helmet.
Bryce Harper was clipped. Harper currently on the injured list.
Thank goodness that he had, that it hit the helmet. Oh, it's scary, man.
Full boat to Rhys. We'll do it again. This is what I'm referring to with Bryce. He's currently on the shelf. April 28th.
Oh. There's so much talk in the game with, what pitchers are allowed to have on their hands, to have more control, yada, yada, yada. Look.
Hoskins with a deep drive. Left center, and he got it.
That is the ultimate payback. Right there as he's saluting the fellas out in the bullpen. Gets knocked down 2-2. Says, okay, doesn't give up that at bat. Gutsy at bat. Big swing of the bat. He's one of the keys. We talked about it before the game.
Rhys Hoskins muscles up for his 11th of the year, 8 of them on the road. And he breaks the ice for the Phillies. It's 1-0, his second of the series. And he hit that one with a little added motivation.
All you need to know about Rhys Hoskins right there. Takes one up on the chin, knocks him down, and stays in and hangs in against a tough righty in Lopez.
Well, I'll tell you what, it makes you focus more when you get knocked down, and he absolutely stays on this changeup. Through it, you see the balance, you see the eyes, and he knew it when he hit it that he got it.
Hit a big home run in Tuesday's game off of Alcantara. 2 big bombs in this series.
Yeah, third homer in the last 6 games. ARBIs in that stretch. He's been huge for this team, especially when you have your big boy and Harper down.
I mean, Reese is stepping up.
I do want to hear the mic on the homer, Cliff.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, you might not hear that either.
We'll work on turning that around.
He was hyped running around. Well, as soon as he hit it, you know he got it.
We'll see if it was clean. So stay tuned.
That's what we're referring to, people.
Yeah. Family show. Family game. Odubel Herrera with one out. Nobody on for Philly after the Hoskins solo shot. 403 feet.
Phillies very encouraged. Odubel Herrera starting to swing the bat much better. Made a tremendous catch in last night's game in 7th inning. A deep fly ball to center field. Aaron Nola was twirling a gem last night and brought one, what would have been a home run, brought back into the ballpark. Unfortunately, the Phillies lost the lead in the 8th inning of that game, and it kind of went unnoticed, but it was a terrific play.
Foul ground. Diaz thinks he found it. No, it's on the other side of the screen. He has that glare right now. I've seen that from you, Cliff.
Well, you're just thinking about everything. You're thinking about the whole at bat, right? You're just playing it back. And believe it or not, you're talking about it amongst your boys right there, but you're like, yo, in your head, you're like, yeah, you knocked me down. I did what I needed to do. But you're thinking about the next at bat right now. You're thinking about what you got to do on the field. That's just the game right there in itself. You see, now, he sat there for a second. Now the boys talking to him. And what was that pitch change up? Yeah, I stayed on it. And now we got some.
Herrera's all over that one, and it's into the gap, and he's heading for 2, and he's in there with a 1-out double.
Phillies putting on their hitting shoes here. Day game after night game, early start, 12-10 start. There's the changeup again. You see the circle changeup grip, and Odubel keeps his head down and drives this ball into the gap in left center field. With the shift, this ball almost gets to the wall. A great job of cutting it off, or this would have been 3 bases.
When open, we talked about the usage of Pablo and his changeup, and the Phillies hitters seem to have been paying attention to detail.
This is another guy, Cliff, the Phillies need to get going. Bohm had such a big year last year, big part of that lineup. You see that average on the year down a little bit, 211 on the year. Cliff, we had a chance to talk to Joe Girardi, and it's a little bit of bad luck, a little bit of the league making some adjustments to Bohm. But if the Phillies are going to get back and stay in contention, they're going to need this guy to start driving in some runs.
He's going the other way, and that's going to drop. Herrera's going to hold up at third. It's a single for Bohm. Runners on the corners. The Phillies pouncing now with a homer, a double, and a single after the first out here in the 4th.
Really good sign here. This is a good fastball that runs in on Bohm. He doesn't try to pull it 94 miles an hour. Good inside out swing. Line drive and a great approach.
And then that's the one thing when you talk about getting going, can get you going, right? Not trying to go right field, but letting the pitch get deep on you, and maybe thinking about breaking your bat, but staying up the middle. That's always the one remedy to get you going and sort of get you out of a funk in your head.
Bohm might have had some extra motivation too, as his right pinky was being treated in the dugout, and then he steps back in there and contributes.
Could have been part of that foul ball he went through the inning when he ran into that netting around the dugout at third base.
It's a good leaderboard to be a part of. National League opposite field hits for a young hitter to be going the other way consistently like he does.
Yeah, well, we talk about the shift and everything that's going on in the game, and you have to play Baum. You have to play him straight up. I mean, that's how good of a hitter he's going to be. Last year, small sample size with COVID and all that stuff, he had a great, a great season. But this is the adjustment he has to make to what the league's going to do. They paying attention to him now, and so he has to make the adjustments to what they're doing. Not change who he is, but just get back to what made him successful in his first year.
Matt Joyce brings the first pitch downstairs. Bohm last year hit .338, second place for Rookie of the Year in the National League, and a .452 batting average with runners in scoring position. Joyce sends one, center, Sierra has it. That should be plenty deep enough. Herrera, come on down. It's 2-0 Phillies on the sac fly from Matt Joyce. On the previous play, they didn't run on Adam Duvall, and Christina, that makes sense given how good Duvall has been out there.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Yeah, when the Marlins signed Adam Duvall before spring training, they expected a middle-of-the-order bat, but since he took over in right field for the first time every day, he has been great. He actually leads MLB with 10 defensive run saves. He has 6 assists.
That's on the ground. Sweet play at short for the out at second. How about Miguel Rojas? Flipping it over to Isan Diaz to retire the side. 2 runs come across, though, for the Phillies, including a mammoth smash off the bat of Rhys Hoskins. 2-0 Philadelphia. Look at Miggy Rowe. So solid at short.
As Rhys Hoskins takes the first pitch fastball for a strike and gets a cutter away, 1-1 count. So he's sitting pretty 2-1, right? Looking for a heater. Oh, look out! Sees a good sinker down the zone that he doesn't chase, and he gets a 2-seamer that he has to his liking right here. And boy, he just turns this one around. One swing of the bat, you can see that bat flip right there. Gutsy at bat from Rhys Hoskins.
Home run number 11 on the season. He had a big start to the year in the power department. That's a strike to Dickerson.
This is a big inning for Spencer Howard. Got to get the middle part of the order, 3, 4, and 5. You just scored 2 runs. You often refer to this inning as one of those shutdown innings for a young pitcher that struggled against the Red Sox after a couple of clean innings. Be interesting, Scott, to see how he handles this after the Phillies spot him with a 2-run lead.
Quickly ahead of Corey Dickerson. Spencer Howard, 68 pitches last time out. 2 runs, 3 innings, 1 hit, 4 walks, 1 hit batter.
I don't know what work he's done between that start and this one, but he looks really locked in, not overthrowing. A couple of breaking balls he's gotten away with. He's missed location with some friendly called strikes, but he's looked really good. Mechanics, he's staying up over the rubber really well, not falling off towards first base.
Popped up, Bohm putting his hand out this time against the netting and makes the catch. Now he's got a feel for that area. 2 balls in the same spot in the last 20 minutes. Bohm puts away Dickerson.
I think he got away with a fastball in the zone 0-2 right there, but great play by Bohm. Just understanding, what he has to do to protect himself when you get close to that netting and that wall over there by third base.
Hey, Christina, I just saw you. How was that? What did it look like in person?
Thanks, Scott. So I'm a former softball player, and the one time I don't bring my glove to a ballpark, that's easily the closest I've ever had a foul ball. Well, it wasn't a foul. Well, it was. But, I think this one worked a lot better for Alec than the first one, luckily.
Hey, Christina, it's Dan.
No one was hurt.
We were talking.
Hey.
Do you think there's an age restriction on when you should or shouldn't bring a glove?
This is my philosophy. Safety first.
I agree.
I like my livelihood is my hands. I'm a writer. If I try to catch a foul ball in the press box and broke my hand, then I am in trouble.
You know, Christina, I think for a lot of these, fans that come out, they think it's easy to catch a foul ball. It's like, no, I got this. It's no big deal. Bare hands, I got it.
No, I know. Well, and the problem is, I'm thinking back to my softball coaches of the year, soft hands, and I'm pretty sure most of the fans in the ballpark didn't get that instruction, so they're going to be jabbing at it.
Yeah. Well, if you're on a date and, your girl don't bring her glove and you bring yours, you better protect her.
That's right. Nice curveball from Howard as he rings up Adam Duvall.
Yeah, that's probably the best curveball we've seen from Spencer this afternoon. Locked up, Adam Duvall hit a double on him the first time. Here's a good look at it right here. That's that 12-6 hook. High strike that's been called more and more in baseball. You can see that spiked curveball. Great 12-6 rotation.
Duvall frozen. Now Lewin Diaz watches a breaking pitch.
Dan, without seeing his last start, I would say, and this is all speculation when you say what he's done differently, it's probably that first pitch. We've seen the curveball first pitch. We've seen the changeup now first pitch. That's probably a little bit different than what he's done in the past.
You know what it does too, Cliff? It makes that fastball that's 93 to 95 play a couple of ticks better.
Yeah.
And that's one of the keys to pitching. Jacob deGrom and Garrett Cole, the two best in the business. I get it, they throw 98 to 100, but they can land breaking balls, throw changeups. It's not just one pitch that gets them through. There's another good curveball, that spiked hook at 77. You often hear about pitching, it's about real estate, location, location, location. A lot of times it's like real estate. Can you sell yourself that your stuff is good enough to attack the strike zone? And that's what Spencer Howard's doing a terrific job, particularly after the Phillies scored 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. Great shutdown inning so far.
So you get the percentage of 80%, which he's thrown today, 80% of the time, right? And you're saying, okay, well, that's pretty much right where he's been the whole season. But it's also the other times he's gotten swings or he's thrown it for a strike to sort of put himself in a better position to utilize that fastball.
34 strikes out of 48 pitches. There's another.
I mean, there's Scotty in itself. We always talk about splitting the plate with the fastball. That's trouble for a pitcher, especially hitters out there, hunting the fastball. Well, he gets away with it because in the back of your mind, it's like, this might be that good changeup or that curveball he's been throwing up here.
A little traffic against Howard in the second, but 1-2-3 first, 1-2-3 second. Trying to pick up another perfect frame. Diaz didn't go around. Counts full. What button are you pressing on this pitcher menu? Howard goes with the heat. It's on the ground. Nice stop by Miller. Gets up and makes the play. So there you go. 3 up, 3 down again for Howard. 3 of his 4 innings he's done the trick. The rookie looking very sharp in his second start of the season. And Brad Miller plays just about anywhere. He's a vet. He's a pro. He does it well. The Phillies love him. 2-0 Philadelphia. This season, we're going to focus on a YouTube content creator featured in our live game commentary section. Today, our creator spotlight shines on Jolly Olive. On his channel, you can watch videos on current MLB news, as well as some great clips considered forgotten in the sport. Jolly Olive, who creates about 8 to 10 minute videos focusing on those topics, is a Mets fan. Favorite MLB moment, his first playoff game, NLDS Game 4, Mets and Dodgers. Over 18,000 subscribers, over 1 million views, and his channel was only launched about 9 months ago. Let's pay off the poll. Favorite MLB ballpark delicacy. Phillies fans coming in hot with the cheesesteak.
I'm telling you, man, it's a problem. A good one, but a problem.
Landslide victory,
yes.
Too. Cheesesteaks for everyone. Miami's Cuban sandwich checking in at second place. That one's on a few bounces for Diaz. And that sits down Marchand. sushi options in the ballpark as well.
Actually, you know what? I do a couple of games down there in Miami. Sushi is pretty good there.
Cliff, that's what I wanted to ask. Give us a scouting report on the food down in Miami at the ballpark.
That, you know, every once in a while, obviously, you know, Miami, you know, you have the Cuban sandwich. They have a nice little Cuban sandwich spot there. Pretty good when you've done the Peloton bike and you're feeling a little frisky. And then when you're feeling like you want to, you know, save yourself a little bit, they have a sushi bar there that's really dang good, man. And so it's you know what, I'll tell you what, I go for sushi because I'm lazy and it's right there by our booth. But as you know, I haven't tried the Nathan's hot dog. They have a nice little sausage stand there as well, D. So, but that line is always too long, so I keep it moving.
That was an A+ breakdown, Dan.
Yeah. Well,
good job, Cliff.
It's, you know, it's always my kids, when I've taken them to the game, they love. And I say to them all the time, like, y'all don't eat hot dogs at home, but when y'all come to the ballpark, y'all get hot dogs. I don't get it. They go, well, it's different here. So okay. But every kid you see has a hot dog or nachos.
We're seeing it here.
I might just drive to Citizens Bank. I know there's not a game going on. I don't see if there's you're making me hungry, Cliff. I'm going to have to get a hold of the Phillies PR guy, Greg Castriato, and tell him, Greg, open the doors. I need a cheesesteak.
Lopez thought he had strike 3. Now he finds it.
Dan, nobody has a clue of how good those cheesesteaks are in the clubhouse. People think we talking about on the street, which they are good, you know, when you go over to, you know, when you're in downtown Philly. But the cheesesteaks in the clubhouse we had were, guys never ate dinner after the game. They had cheesesteaks made for them to take home to the hotel.
Well, the worst thing for me would be a day game, Cliff, and you're fighting the temptation. Have one of those cheesesteaks at about 10:30 in the morning, and you're sitting in a bullpen. I would be sitting in a bullpen, the visiting bullpen in the old vet, thinking, wow, I hope they don't call my number today because I don't know if I can move. And I could never stop with just one, Cliff. I was double-fisted.
Double fist for sure. It's crazy.
Would go into Philadelphia weighing 215. A 3-day trip, I go out there weighing 235.
Next time we do a game this early, I'm bringing food for both of you.
Oh, man.
I got you.
I need to go to the bank quickly. Citizens Bank Park on my mind.
2 gone. Roman Quinn. 2-1. We showed some of the great work that Pablo Lopez has been up to, especially in the past couple seasons. 2 earned runs or fewer more often than not. Just a few clunkers in his career. Really just 4 starts that didn't work out well for him over the last few seasons.
That's the pitch right there. Scotty, you know, when you talk about him and maturing, understanding what he has to do, that's been the biggest eye-opener for me, is watching his maturity as far as having an ERA over 5 in 2019 and then steadily going down to where he understands that you can't just get away with throwing a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Use that change piece and use it well. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 fifth for Pablo Lopez. Check out YouTube's live game commentary featuring MLB, the Phillies channel, the Marlins, and a select group of YouTube creators that contribute with questions and comments. You can view that live game commentary on your computer, your smart TV, your mobile device. We'll be keeping an eye on that discussion throughout the broadcast. They help us out. They organically hook us up with some really good notes and questions throughout the day here on YouTube. Also, MLB Originals Season 2 is live on YouTube. New episodes every week. See your favorite players and learn more about the game you love on youtube.com/MLB. Oh, it's Cliff's backyard.
You know what I'm saying? Literally, I'm about 10 minutes from there.
I miss Miami. I lived there for 5 years, went to the University of Miami. So did Christina Di Nicola. We were in the same class.
Wait a minute, you're in the same class as Christina?
Yeah, true story. Both worked for the Miami Hurricane newspaper. This is Leon. That's the dream right there, Cliff. You go to school for journalism or broadcast journalism. Now you're working a Marlins game.
Are you big time?
I don't know about that. But appreciative of where I'm at. Put it
Spencer Howard keeps pitching like this. He's going to buy himself a home somewhere in Miami if he wants to. He's been brilliant. Through 4 innings, he's allowed one hit, a double by Adam Duvall in the 2nd inning. He's been in command of all 3 of his pitches. There's another good heater. Good piece of hitting right there.
Leon just takes what he's given and goes to left. It's a base hit. Rhys Hoskins is mic'd up today on YouTube. Give us the goods, Rhys.
That's it, bad, bro. What'd you have? Low? Low there? Yeah, close pitch. Nice eye. Good take.
That's awesome. Isan Diaz is up right now, too, but that was his last AB, his first of the day, a base on balls. Rhys Hoskins knows a good take. That's a quality take, Cliff.
It is a quality take, you know. I would never tell Rhys, nah, I thought that was a strike.
Right? Especially when he's mic'd, right? That's what he's saying, man. Is that mic hot? Yeah. Oh, no, that ball was down. Wasn't even close.
Oh, man.
Were you into that, Cliff, when you reached base? Some of the first basemen, super talkative. Sean Casey's famous for that. We work with him a lot.
To say our colleague here, he talked about your brother, your sister, your auntie, your dog. I'm like, Case, I'm gonna get picked off over here messing with you, bro. But I didn't talk much over there first.
You were locked in?
Not really. I was just, you say what's up, and then, unless I knew the guy over there first. I mean, everyone, who I like to talk to is like guys like Tony Gwynn, the late Tony Gwynn, like guys who, may learn something from for a minute. Mark Grace was good. I remember the guys. Big Cat Galarraga was good. You just chat with them about certain things. I played a little bit of first base. Maybe I look at their glove or something over there and see what type of glove they were using, whether it was a big one or, one where they had sure hands and they had the smaller gloves over there. It's just different conversations. Then every once in a while when I played the map, it's like, yo, where you going after the game, bro? Maybe we can link up.
Maybe your house. The MLB account said, can you confirm that was actually Cliff's backyard, please?
Might not be a bad time right now to go out and talk with Spencer Howard. This is really the first time we've seen him dance around the strike zone.
Hey, new to the MLB Game of the Week for the 2021 campaign, the YouTube Player of the Game. Fans watching on mobile devices and computers, you can vote for which player will receive the cherished trophy during the post-game show. Stay tuned for the Player of the Game polling options. That'll come your way later. And also, of course, you help decide who the post-game interview is going to be. So far, leader of the pack has to be Rhys Hoskins, or you could make a case for Spencer Howard as well if he continues.
And on cue, not a bad time, but a good time to go out and talk to a young pitcher right now. First and second, nobody out. It's one of the beauties about the National League. I doubt the Marlins will be bunting here with Pablo Lopez on deck unless Don Mattingly decides that he may want to go to his bullpen early. Just have to really guard against, if you're Spencer Howard right now, just laying that first pitch right in. Pretty good chance, Birdie, to see Joe Girardi has Suarez up in the bullpen. Has a reputation of being a big-time strike thrower in that Phillies bullpen. Really have to concentrate right now if you're Spencer.
Yeah.
Making good pitch, strike one, think ground ball. Certainly you can't make anybody hit the ball where you'd like to, but whatever you feel like you can best be down in the strike zone to initiate some soft contact.
John Birdie with 2 on. Nice stop by Marchand. They love his defensive work. He's an excellent receiver already, a rookie.
That was awesome.
That's a pretty athletic move right there to keep that ball from. That would have been really, if you're a Marlins fan, that would have been great. Have been as good as a sacrifice bunt getting runners over.
Marshawn making his 3rd start of the year. He caught Howard on Saturday. See, we're seeing the velocity drop and the control wavering.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see by his demeanor right now. He's moving around a little bit more on the mound, taking a little bit more in between pitches. You can see that mind is starting to race quickly. He was in such attack mode through the first 4 innings, and now he's a little indecisive on what he wants to throw.
He needed that call.
Now that could be a swing pitch right there to get him back in the strike zone. This ball appeared to be a little bit up and out of the zone. A friendly call to get back into the count.
Jolly Olive, Howard was absolutely cruising before. This is getting dicey. This was the case on Saturday for Howard against the Red Sox in the 3rd inning. We're in the 5th. They would love to see him get through it. There's a miss. Now, if he walks birdie, do you go to Suarez?
I think so. The way he's really missing the strike zone, and doesn't appear right now he has commanded the fastball as good as he was through the first 4 innings. He really doesn't have the appearance right now, Scott, that he can land anything that he needs for a strike. The only strike in this bat was a fringe ball that was called a strike on a 2-0 count.
Eight balls and 6 strikes this inning. Big payoff pitch coming up to 8-hitter John Birdie. Leon and Diaz on. 3-2 misses up and in. Bags full of Marlins in the 5th.
Not so sure about that pitch right there, Cliff. You have a young pitcher that's struggling. 3-2 changeup. He had just thrown a 3-1 fastball.
Right.
It was called for a strike, and looks like Joe Girardi's going to Suarez.
Yeah, I'm with you, D. I just think when you have a guy struggling, the easiest pitch for him, right, is to throw the fastball. Just do him for a strike. The feel of it must still be there, and the confidence with the changeup coming off the fingertips hasn't been there this setting.
4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, but he's responsible for 3 Marlins on board. In comes Ranger Suarez. Live on YouTube, presented by Glad You Asked, a YouTube original series that examines timely questions around the impact of systemic racism on our communities and in our daily lives. All episodes are available right now to watch on YouTube for free, no subscription required. Head over to YouTube and just search Glad You Asked. Only on YouTube. Another shot of Cliff's backyard. You let the drone in, huh?
Hey, man, look, every once in a while you got to do that.
Scott Braun, Cliff Floyd, Dan Plesac, and Christina DiNicola at the ballpark. This is Ranger Suarez taking over, and he's been excellent this season, but this is not a fun spot for him.
Now, a base is loaded, nobody out. He hears him with a loaded strike throw, though. Phillies signed him out of Venezuela.
Would you be tempted at all as a manager to pinch hit this early in a game?
No, I don't think so right now. It depends on Don Mattingly. He really wouldn't give us any hints on the condition of his bullpen, since they've had to empty out the bullpen a couple of times in this series. I think they want to get some length out of Pablo Lopez.
And the Phillies might be working with just a 2-man bench today. We don't know for sure, but McCutchen out again.
If there's such a thing as an ideal spot to be brought in as a reliever with the bases loaded, nobody out, this is it.
Yeah.
You have the lefty on lefty situation.
Sorry, man. Jesus Aguilar sitting today could have been a pinch hitting option.
I don't think they would go to Aguilar this early in the game. There you see him, he's getting ready. I would be surprised if they did that. Sierra's spot is next, so this could be a potential left situation. Maybe Donnie Baseball would like to take a shot at it. He may pitch in for Sierra.
Lopez strikes out. That's a big first out for Ranger Suarez. I know it was the pitcher. Actually, yesterday, pitcher Trevor Rogers pinch hit as they were saving up the bench because the Marlins are dealing with some injuries. Garrett Cooper is out, even though he's not on the IL, hopefully day to day. Same with Jazz Chisholm, who rolled his ankle. And here comes the big man.
Well, it's a spot right here for Suarez. Lives down in the bottom of the strike zone. You know, in vogue now is that high four-seam fastball. That's really not his game. Moves the ball up, down, in, and out. This is where you really have to stay within yourself. One of the things that the big fella doesn't do all that well is run all that well. So if he can induce something hit on the ground, it could give the Phillies a chance to turn an ending inning double play and get out of trouble.
But one thing he has done well, talking about Aguilar, has been an RBI machine for this Marlins team this year.
36 of them on the year.
Yeah.
Top 3 in the National League. Bases loaded. First pitch misses downstairs.
You know, one of the reasons I think you look at the RBI leaders in the National League, pretty impressive. Aguilar with 36 runs batted in. Cliff touched on it earlier. Just a veteran presence that he and Duvall bring to this young Marlins team. And you better start taking this team serious. Their starting pitching is going to keep them around for a while. They're going to get Starlin Marte back off the injured list. And we're at the end of May, and they're only a game and a half out of first.
Aguilar was a savvy pickup last year by Miami. He was a late bloomer, had a breakout 2018 with Milwaukee, 35 homers, 108 RBIs, and some serious damage with the bases loaded in his career, 371. A down 2019, bounced back last year for Miami. It's 2-1.
You can see Suarez being awful careful with the big fella here. One of the things, if you talk to the Phillies people, they like about Suarez, he's not afraid of the big moment. He can change speeds, move the ball in and out. He's not relying on one pitch, has a really good changeup that he'll mix in.
To the left side, and that is a fair ball. Nope, foul ball. Couldn't see the ump on the left side there.
That's
foul ball.
Pretty good pitch there too, Scott. A 2-1 changeup had Aguilar out front. If it weren't for just a little bit of a break, it could have been a inning-ending double play.
Great instincts, excuse me, over there by Alec Baum. Just the wherewithal to be able to just grab that ball, touch third base, and know who's running, and sling that ball, and not assume, you know, not look back at the umpire, but just, in a sense, just grab it, touch third base, and know exactly what he's going to do before that ball gets to him. You see him right here in the second. Step on third. Not try to go home, not try to do anything crazy. Get the ball home.
Aguilar lifts it to center. And we'll see what that arm from Odubel Herrera looks like. Leon, not the fastest. It's cut off. Throw to third is in time. Run came across first. So the Marlins get one, and that will sit down the side. Still, Ranger Suarez enters this game. Bases loaded, nobody out, and allows just a run. Phillies defense coming up big.
This was a heads-up play right here. One of the things that Odubel Herrera does really well, he keeps the ball in the middle of the diamond and hits the cutoff man. And Rhys Hoskins does a great job of reading this and delivers a strike to Bowman third. Heads-up play.
Sac fly for Aguilar, but there's the out at third. One for the Marlins in the inning. They trail by a run on YouTube.
Really good play defensively by the Phillies. That we've talked about how their defense has let them down this year. Herrera does a great job of getting momentum. Rhys Hoskins does an even better job of reading that this throw is offline. Cuts it in a heads-up play. See him right now surveying. He's taking a peek at the runner at third. He sees the situation. This ball is offline. He goes and gets it. Throws a strike to Bowman third base. Heads-up play.
Nice job to get Isan Diaz and end the inning. The run did come across first, so the sac fly for pinch hitter Jesus Aguilar, and then changes to the defensive setup for the Marlins. That one is struck to center. Newly put in center field. John Birdie from third, out deep at the track to make the catch for out number 1. Brad Miller gave that baseball a ride. So Birdie's in center. He was at third. Now Isan Diaz moves over to the hot corner. And Diaz comes from second base, where Jose Devers enters the game after a really solid day yesterday.
The name sounds familiar. Cousin, I believe, to Rafael Devers, the all-world third baseman of the Red Sox.
Jose Devers picked up from the New York Yankees in the Giancarlo Stanton trade, and Jose keeps in very close touch with Rafael, and the Marlins are heading up to Boston to take on the Red Sox. So Jose is going to be treated to some nice dinners up there.
Here's the man of the hour, Rhys Hoskins. How about his last at bat? Took a fastball up and in from Pablo Lopez, knocked him right on the seat of his pants. A couple of pitches later, and that bat hit a bomb to left field, and a great play to get the Phillies out of trouble there in the bottom of the 5th.
2 strikes on Hoskins. He's mic'd up on YouTube.
Jesus. God, that happens once a game. Yeah, dude!
You know, we had to beep out something.
That's a first-class turnaround
That
from
is
the
something else.
superstar production team that we have to give us the Rhys Hoskins reaction after some chin music, and then his 11th homer of the season back in the 4th. That was awesome.
You know, it's been such an up and down season for the Phillies. They come into play 2 games under at 24 and 26. They've had some disappointments with the bullpen that really let them down in the 2020 season, that 60-game abbreviated sprint. I really believe they were a playoff team last year, but the bullpen took them out of several games, and they've had some issues this year in the 8th and 9th inning. Give this team a lot of credit, though. They battled. I think one of the things we talked about early, Scott, they're going to have to clean up defensively. Last night that there was a double play that wasn't turned. It's hard to expect Brad Miller, who's not the everyday third baseman. A ball that was hit to third, it could have been a 5-4-3 double play that wasn't turned, led to a big inning for the Fish.
Good take. Rhys Hoskins, a 1-out base runner. Yeah, Philadelphia is 24 and 26 on the year, currently sitting in 4th place.
The Mets are leading the division right now, and they had some disappointing news. Noah Syndergaard's going to have to be shut down for a few weeks. They were hoping to have him back. Francisco Lindor, who they signed to that $300 million plus contract, has gotten off to a rough start. Jacob deGrom's had 1 start back. He was awfully good, 5 innings. So this NL East is really shaping up to be quite a division down the stretch. The Mets have had the injury bug. The Braves have been hit with some injuries. The Phillies are going through that. The Marlins have had 2, but how about that play?
That was smoked right to Lewin Diaz. Steps on the bag, and they double up the Phillies to end the inning. Hey, you get called up today, you show off the glove work. First baseman of the future, and now the present.
Oh, he was ready too. Okay.
Think fast.
The old Adam ball right at him. Nothing Hoskins can do.
In-game video highlights, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your favorite team and the rest of the league. Gorgeous. South Florida.
It's just enticing like no other.
Well, for you, you live there.
Well, I mean, I don't see that aerial view a lot. I see it, you know what I mean? But
I need to take you into my helicopter more often. Next time I'm down there, okay?
Cliff, when you're there in November, December, January, and February, do you feel sorry for the people that are in the Midwest and Northeast?
I can't lie to you. I do. I do. I mean, like, why are y'all up there? Come on down.
I'm in. Don't have to ask me twice. Miguel Rojas lives in Miami year-round. Loves this city. Loves this team. Two-hitter takes a strike. It's 0-2. Ranger Suarez back to work.
Boy, talking about the Phillies. Through 50 games, they've seen a lot. They've had to go to that bullpen a lot. 17 one-run games the Philadelphia Phillies have played through 50 games, and they're 9-8 in those 17 games. So Joe Girardi knows this one's probably going to be another one of those white knucklers.
Uh-oh. What is that?
Yeah, more. Zoom in.
Okay.
Oh, he's just chilling.
Oh, he's just chilling. That's a great view.
Very calm out there.
I was thinking, Scott, you were taking this. That's a birdie. That's John Birdie out there, right?
That's right. Next half inning, okay? Birdie's playing center now for Miami. Hey, this Philly bullpen was so bad last year. I just have to play it straight like that. MLB worst 7.06, but it was the second highest reliever ERA in baseball history.
And Scott, it becomes a thing. I made my living pitching out of the bullpen, and what you really need, you need to have two guys. You need to have that ninth inning solidified, and somebody that can be your troubleshooter that you can go to in the 7th or 8th inning with traffic, guys on base, somebody that can get the ball to the main guy.
And that's going to get past Miller at second. So up the chute, Miguel Rojas with a base hit to start the bottom of the 6th.
It's what a lot of teams have gone through this year. Multiple relievers. The Phillies aren't the only team that's having to go through that. And it's tough. Starting pitchers are going not as deep in the games. This one gets through 2 sets of legs. Right by Suarez and Miller.
I just think the bullpen and everything else, when you talk about the defense and one-run games, then they go hand in hand with the pressure of playing the defense and understanding that I can't make a mistake, as opposed to just being free and playing the way that, you know, these guys know they can play. I mean, Didi Gregorius has 6 or 7 errors this year, and you're like, that's not typical of him. So I think a lot of it, it's more of them putting the pressure on themselves, you know, to make the routine plays, or as you mentioned last night about Brad Miller playing out of position because of injuries and so on and so forth. It leads to a lot of mishaps. Even that guy right there had a little run-in with his manager this year, not in lineup today, Gene Segura. It's just a little too much for a team that's trying to contend every single night, contend in a tough NL East division.
You know, we talked a lot about the bullpens, and Joe Girardi has been known really in his days as a manager with the Yankees of handling and maneuvering a bullpen. One of the things the Phillies have that I think is going to benefit them in the long run, they have 2 quality starters. Zach Wheeler has been terrific, and Aaron Nola. They can eat up some innings, so at least a couple of days, Joe Girardi and that staff, they feel confident they have 2 starting pitchers that can run them into the 6th, 7th, and possibly the 8th inning. And Zach Wheeler, I know a lot of people in baseball were surprised at the contract when the Phillies signed Zach Wheeler, but he's lived up to every bit of that contract. There's a look at 2 pretty good guys, and Zach Leffin there on the far right. There's 3 really good pitchers back to back that the Phillies run out there. I think the bullpen eventually will take care of itself. This young guy we're watching right now, Suarez, he can move up in the pecking order. What a heads-up play.
Gets the lead runner at second with an excellent throw as he was backing up towards the line.
That's about as good a play as you're going to see, and that's a tough play for a lefty because that ball is taking you away from the mound. You have to spin around and throw. Take a look at him right here. Luckily he's falling off towards first base. And he has a lower 3/4 arm angle that makes him a lot easier to make this play. Watch him get to it right here. It's just a quick step throw and a great throw to Torreyes. Not an easy play. Does a good job of getting his body turned so he doesn't have to make a complete wheel around. Pretty nice play.
So now Dickerson's the base runner at first. Rojas erased. Cleanup hitter Adam Duvall.
I think another thing what puts Suarez into play too is his ability to throw multiple pitches, and he has that straight changeup. So if you're Joe Girardi, you're not afraid to run him out there in situations where he can face some right-handed hitters. More of a starting pitcher down in the minor league, so he'll throw the changeup to righties. He has a ground ball pitch if he needs one. There's a good fastball at 94. With this 3-batter minimum now, Very rarely are you going to see left-handed specialists throughout baseball anymore. Bringing a guy in, you're going to have to leave him out there for multiple hitters. This was a great spot for Girardi to bring Suarez in. Was able to get Lopez with the bases loaded in the last inning. Sac fly and an inning double play in that pop-up, but really great job for Joe Girardi, the way he's matched up this young lefty so far this afternoon.
Small sample size, but Duvall 2 for 4 with a homer against the Phillies reliever. We just saw a nice changeup from Suarez. Opposing batters are 0 for 15 with 5 Ks against that pitch entering today.
Good pitch.
That's really a good pitch that sets up that straight changeup, that fastball in. Make Duvall aware of the ball in and try to get that bat head out. Similar to that at bat against Jesus Aguilar. Threw Aguilar a really good 2-1 changeup to get back in that at bat when that foul ball that went over the third baseline. Next pitch was hit for the sac fly. There it is. He pulls the string. Cliff, really good changeup. What set that up was that 93 fastball that was in the previous pitch. If you're involved, you have to think, okay, I have to make myself aware of that fastball in. There isn't a hitter alive that wants to get beat on a heater inside. Really good changeup there.
2 outs, 1 on for Miami. Let's finish up with our last poll question before the YouTube player of the game poll cue. Which player has the most swagger in the game right now? Jazz Chisholm's on the list. He's got to be on the list. Rolled his ankle, so he's not playing today.
Oh, this
he's
is an easy one. This is Fernando Tatis.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Tatis. How about that bling with that big necklace that they wear after he hit a big home run the other day? That necklace with the Padres logo that spins around.
That's brand new.
That's the king of bling right there.
That is some bling, D. You know what? I think Manny Machado. Well, they both got over 300 million, but I think when you look at Tatis, yeah, he's bringing it, but Jazz Chisholm, I don't know if you guys have seen the swag this kid brings to the table every night. It's different. He's right there. That's a good list. So they all rocking the Cuban links. He has about 3 or 4 of them. He looks like Mr. T every once in a while when he's rocking his, but some swag going on in this game. You guys know I love it.
The swag chain is what you're talking about, by the way, Dan. It's brand new. Yonder Alonso, I work with now at MLB Network. We all do. And he told me about it. It was made by Gabriel the Jeweler, who made the turnover chain for the University of Miami Hurricanes defense. And it was Manny Machado's idea. And Padres give it to a player who homers or if there's a player of the game.
Right. So let me ask you, Bronny, you think the one that UM has is CZs, and you think the one that Manny got is real diamonds?
I think they're both real. No. No. I received unofficial word on the price.
Okay.
I can't share it. Apparently, I was not given from my source permission.
I'll tell you what, if it's real, that thing better be locked up. I'll tell you that.
It's not cheap. Ranger Suarez priceless in the 6th. Strand's a runner, keeps this a 1-run edge for the Phillies. Acuña's got it. Fernando Tatis Jr.
Hey.
There it is.
It is right there.
That thing's real. Javi Baez with the no-look tag.
Well, his swag comes from his J's he wears, his spikes. Jazz is pretty dope as far as just, you see that right there? That's the Cubans. Then you got the little, Euro step going when he hits the bomb. But I'm telling you, and we've been talking about this, the one in Diego, I didn't question if it wasn't real diamonds. I'm talking about that is canary diamonds in there. That's a lot going on, and that's real. I mean, you got $600 million on the left side, $640 million on the left side of the diamond.
as far as Manny Machado and Tatis. But I'm saying the one in Miami, Scotty, if you're saying that's real, that's a little iffy because that's college. That's all I was saying.
It's probably a booster that sets that up. Christina knows the school well and the area. What do you think, Christina?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. If anyone's going to know swagger, it's you and me, because the U invented it.
Roller to Devers, who retires Bohm.
Yeah. But yeah, so in terms of Jazz, he's got the blue hair. He, earlier in the season, warned us, I might add, that there ain't a swaggier team than the Marlins.
Right.
And he reiterated that this past weekend when they wore their City Connect Series uniform, which were selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, those uniforms are awesome. And I've heard Jazz say, my biggest fear, ready for this, is not making the Hall of Fame. He's a rookie. He's got confidence. He's got style. I'm sure Marlins fans are weighing in. The poll is up right now, so let us know your thoughts. Give it a click. 4 very solid options. Very swaggy options.
Yeah, this should be really close.
I'll tell you what, Cliff, he has some bling, but he also can hit a heater. I think he's the only guy in the big leagues this year. He's hit 2 100-mile-an-hour fastballs out. Took a Jacob deGrom in the upper deck at Citi Field, and Jose Alvarado of the Phillies took a heater up by his eyeballs. It was over 100.
Yeah. I think he's the only player ever to hit 2 100-mile-an-hour pitches over the wall. Look at Jazz among rookies. He's been a stud, and he's missed some time, too. He's been on the injured list, and now he's been out the last couple games. Rolled the ankle on the bases, and then at bat as well. 3 pitches. Matt Joyce is put away by Pablo Lopez, who looks like he's picking up steam.
There was that great changeup. Terrific pitcher, Pablo Lopez. He's really pitched very well. Unfortunately, he's on the short end of this one right now as the Titans lead this one 2-1 in the 7th.
That's dirty right there.
Ooh. That's a special pitch. He uses it more every year in the bigs, 35% of the time this season. And there's some heat to Ronald Torreyes. If he gets through this batter, Dan, you might as well let him go pitch the 8th too. This stuff looks better than ever right now.
He's really crisp. We've seen the fastball in the mid-90s, great changeup. That was the slider right there. You can see the spray chart of Torreyes, second base on. That's why the Marlins, 1 defender on the right side there.
And that's weak contact. Ground balls. That's what Lopez does. Ground balls, strikeouts on the changeup. Man, he is rolling again. Marlins looking for some offense against the Phillies bullpen. Let's stretch. Online and crush dingers in MLB Home Run Derby. Download on the App Store and Google Play for free today. I want to play as Cliff Floyd in that game. Odds courtesy of BetMGM. Total runs. Yeah, I got you, Cliff. 6.5. Hey, this is a 2-1 contest. Pablo Lopez pitches so well in this park. And Spencer Howard was good. And once he lost it a little bit, Ranger Suarez to the rescue for the Phillies. And that's why the under's looking strong.
2 scoreless innings so far. He's been throwing the ball terrific. Good fastball, straight changeup. Joe Girardi did a masterful job of matching him up, bringing him in the game. Pablo Lopez, Aguilar, kind of a right-left situation.
I guess that's it for Pablo Lopez, based on the eye test. There's hugs coming, I promise. There you go. At least a handshake. He probably wants one more. I mean, he's like, did you see me in the 7th? That's my best inning. Dylan Floro was warming before. Leon to center. That's hanging up for Herrera. Long run. He's there.
Great closing speed right there, Cliff Floyd. We saw last night he robbed a home run, hit over his head and straightaway center field. It looks like he's slowly but surely rounding back into form, not only with the back flip, but some closing ground here.
Yeah, you see that concentration right there, Dan, and that's him just getting a good jump, understanding where he's at, and knowing that that ball cannot drop. When these games are close like that, you can ill afford to have any base runners. So, good job by Boop.
He absolutely robbed Isan Diaz yesterday. A potential game-tying homer in the 6th inning. He climbed that tall center field wall, timed it perfectly. Two free tickets today for Diaz. Solid contact the other way, and that hangs up long enough for Quinn. Great closing speed again. A center fielder playing left, and it pays off.
Well, that's one of the things when you have speed. Speed kills. Quinn does a great job reading this right off the bat. Fortunately, when you have a left-on-left situation, he's playing a little bit more shallow.
Yeah.
This he sells out for right here. It can be a little bit of a risky play if this ball gets by. It's at least 2 and probably 3, as well as Diaz runs, but a great play, and Suarez loves it.
Biggest difference between the Phillies today and yesterday, and for much of the season, defense.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing, those 2 plays right there, you can't teach instincts. Both those plays were instinctive decisions made off the jump, and knowing you have to make those plays, or like Dan said, that's a triple, and man on third with a chance to tie this game up.
Outs above average, another stat to measure defense. Phillies at the bottom, but they have some solid gloves in the outfield. It's been more on the infield side. Alec Boehm struggling at third, and Joe Girardi even told us you got to separate the slumping at the plate with your defensive play.
Well, you do, Scotty, but I think also it's not from lack of work, and with Alec, it's one of those things where, you know, you run into the sophomore slump if you know, if you want to look at it that way or whatever. But for me, it's, you know what, paying attention to detail, understanding that you got to, you know, the ball's coming to me, anticipate the ball coming to you, all those little things, but the work is first. And if you put in the work, then as Joe alluded to in our, you know, in our meeting, it's like, hey, sometimes you have to just live with the mistakes.
Boy, what a job so far by Ranger Suarez. He's gone 2 2/3. We're going to have to, he's not the Ranger, he's going to be the lieutenant after this one, right?
Promote the man. Hey, let me take you back in case you missed yesterday's catch from Odubel Herrera. Diaz was kind of robbed just now, but this was full-on home run robbery, Cliff. Glove over the wall, and that's a tall wall.
That's a tall wall, and look where he's at to make that play. It's getting back almost like, you know, we do comps in this building. Devon White. D, you know Devon White. You've seen him in action. He used to run to the spot. To make that play, you have to get to that spot. Outstanding.
Torreyes to the right spot on the ground ball, and Ranger Suarez, you are officially promoted. Is he lieutenant?
He is the lieutenant.
The Miami Marlins YouTube channel. Visit youtube.com/Marlins to follow the team today. Oh, no traffic today. That's nice. Cruising through Miami. Which player has the most swagger in the game right now? And your winner, Fernando Tatis Jr. Acuna in second, Jazz finishing in third. He's just a rookie. He's starting to make a national name for himself, and Baez clocks in the 4th spot. Makes sense.
I mean,
no?
Yeah.
He needs to build it up. I mean, Jazz is new to the party.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that's, you know, Baez need a little bit more love. I'm sorry.
It's a tough poll question.
Yeah, it was, but Baez he's toning down a little bit as far as the chains and all that stuff, but he's still swaggy, man.
Yeah. Stark Raving Sports in the live game commentary said, would also like to nominate Willians Astudillo for the swag poll. La Tortuga, one of Dan's favorites.
La Tortuga. Hey, we're talking about that. We've got a new pitcher, Dylan Floro, in for the Marlins. Boy, what a job by Pablo Lopez. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 5 punch-outs. 92 pitches, 61 for strikes, 18 for 25 first pitch strikes. So it's up to Dylan Floro to keep the Phillies at bay.
And a strike to start off the 8th. That's Rafael Marchand. Base hit in the 3rd.
Not to put the kibosh on Floro, has yet to allow a home run this season and only allowed 1 run all of 2021 in 24 1/3 innings. So a couple of things you want to do coming out of the bullpen. You want to limit the walks and keep the ball in the ballpark, and he's done a great job of both.
And Christina, it seems like the Marlins bullpen is really settling itself into some nice roles at this point.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Yeah, exactly. So when Kim Ng took over as general manager, she made it her offseason priority to upgrade the bullpen. The club knew they were going to play a lot of close games, as we've seen in 2021. And Dylan Floro was one of those big additions. And so since Anthony Bass was taken out of the closer's role and Yimi Garcia took over on April 10th, the bullpen has the 5th best ERA in the majors at 3.04.
NL team ERA leaders, thanks Christina, this season the Marlins on the board in the National League.
I think a lot of that too, as I see it, is roles are defined, and Don Mattingly has Garcia closing out game. I think he has 9 saves on the season. Floro's been great, and so everybody understands their roles down there, and every once in a while things get thrown around, but for the most part these guys know when to get ready, and then I know you can speak to how huge that is.
Marchand on a hop, and a hot shot gets past Devers into right field, and the ball skips away. Marchand heading to second, and he'll wait there. So 2 miscues, although that was tough to handle for Devers, but then trouble in the outfield turns into an extra base.
And that bird is still there on the ground. Take a look at this, Scott. This ball gets by at second base, and it's rolling that gap in right center field, and that pigeon that's on the field decided to still. He's got to hang out in right field. Here you see the bad hop.
You're not lying. He's
right
still
there.
Oh, he didn't move.
He didn't move. You'll get a good look at him right here. Ball starts rolling right towards him, and he's like, nah, I'm not moving. I paid for this seat.
That's amazing. So base hit, and then E9 on Duvall. Unfazed. Ice.
It's hanging around there. Either somebody, right fielder with the sunflower seeds, you can see him. He's waiting around for the next half inning. Get a fresh batch of sunflower seeds.
Phillies are going to try to turn this into some insurance. Gene Segura, your pinch hitter.
It's either Adam Duvall or Matt Joyce, the 2 right fielders, helping that birdie out there in right field.
Yeah, and Duvall on the Marlins side has been statistically one of the best defenders in the sport this year. Here's Mean Gene.
Boy, if you're Joe Girardi, sorry, Scott, if you're Joe Girardi, this game, this is about a well-managed game. You have an ideal spot. You just have Suarez, who pitched 3 terrific innings. You have a man on second. You have a guy like Segura on the bench. It makes it easy. You're going to go ahead and change pitchers. That pitcher slot comes up. There's a look at Bird and the birdie. You get 2 for 1 on a Thursday in Miami. Oh, look out.
Segura avoids it. A ball and 2 strikes. The fireball review in the live game commentary with a note that the pigeons are out of control. It's bad enough what they do to our cars. True story. Segura hitting .318 this year on the NL leaderboard. Marchand in scoring position, and Gene fouls it back. Dylan Floro, one of the additions to this Marlins bullpen that's coming up big lately.
You know, a lot of teams in baseball, and the Marlins, both these teams, the Marlins and Phillies, they can attest to it. You go through a lot of arms during a season. And nobody in baseball really knew what to expect after a 60-game season in 2021. There were virtually no minor leagues, so you really don't have a handle on what your depth chart is going to be. I think it's a concern of every general manager. Look at Gene Segura turn that one around.
Rips it foul.
That's a big concern, and I think every manager every day they wake up and they wonder about not only their starting pitching, but the bullpen, the depth. We've seen teams have to go to the bullpen, 2-3 relievers every night. It's going to be survival of the fittest. Can you develop some fresh arms? Can you sign fresh arms? Bullpenning, part of baseball in 2021.
Yeah, and protecting his rotation as well. Then as far as the youth of it, getting a guy back who threw his first bullpen today in Sixto Sanchez, as you mentioned in the opening, and that is key for Kim Ng, and just and Don Mattingly, and just understanding, how many starts are you going to get from Trevor Rogers? How many starts are you going to get from Pablo? Are they going to, with last year being what it was, you have to protect these guys from themselves. You have to look at, upgrading your bullpen. Maybe Sixto is that sort of deadline acquisition that you get as far as getting back into the rotation and helping some of these other guys, and maybe skipping a start or two for these youngsters. But the bullpen in itself has been terrific.
Just a routine day off out of the starting lineup today for Gene Segura. He played quite a bit lately.
It's a great at bat, Scott.
Yeah.
Getting back talking about bullpens. Best record of baseball, the San Diego Padres at 32-18. Guess what? Their bullpen is tops in ERA in all of baseball. Other couple of really good bullpens. The Cleveland Indians, 5 games over 500, and the Cubs.
Craig Kimbrell's back.
Boy, the Cubs bullpen deep right now. Chafin's throwing the ball really well. Tepera throwing the ball really well. Remember a name, Keegan Thompson. He's throwing the ball really well out of the bullpen.
On the ground to third, and Diaz puts away Segura for out number 1. New to the MLB Game of the Week this season, the YouTube Player of the Game. So if you're watching on a mobile device or a computer, you're going to vote for which player will receive this trophy during the post-game show. We'll have the poll options coming soon on YouTube. And if you've caught any of our broadcasts from earlier this season, the players love the trophy. They try to press the button. I don't know what it does, but I do know that the name gets engraved on the trophy. And Dan, a regular season is 162 games except for last year. This is a way to break things up, and players are super competitive. They're loving the trophy.
It is, and we're not really supposed to influence the voters.
But we'll
be able to pick that on YouTube, but I'm gonna cast my vote a little early for the lieutenant if this holds up. Ranger Suarez.
Wow. So no Hoskins, no Howard. You're going Suarez.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Inherited 3 runs, only 1 scores, 3 scoreless innings.
What was your position when you played?
I'm going
Dan?
Hoskins.
What was your position? What was your position in Major League Baseball?
Reliever. I'm biased. Listen, I'm not going to make
You're like, where are you going?
For it.
I expect him to go anywhere else.
But I'll tell you this: if you have a bad bullpen, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And I think if you're a fan of the Phillies or a fan of a team that has struggled with a bullpen, it seems like every other team in baseball has a good bullpen, but yours. And it's tough in a day and age where you're running 2 and 3 and 4 relievers out there. In a perfect world, you think, hell, we have the lead. Let's just run 4 different guys out there. It's really hard on a night to run 4 guys, particularly in 1- and 2-run games that are all on. In a perfect world, and say, hey, I'm going to go the matchups in my 7th inning and 8th inning guys. Doesn't always work out that way.
Nice pitch.
No, it's a good choice. And we'll let fans vote pretty soon. Yeah, MLB accounts, and of course, Plesac going for the reliever, but Suarez was bringing it today.
There he is. He's not the Ranger. He's the lieutenant.
And Cliff, you're picking early too with Hoskins.
I'm just throwing one out there, but I got a little something different later.
Okay. Appealed to the third base ump. Quinn did not go around, according to Sam Holbrook. So we have a full count to Roman Quinn. Marchand still stationed at second base. Quinn hitless in 3 trips so far today, and he doesn't bite. So now 2 on for the Phillies, and this makeover brought to you by new Baseball of Operations head Dave Dombrowski.
And I do believe in time. Archie Bradley missed some time, and I think he's going to be a big part of that bullpen. Jose Alvarez, when he's throwing strikes and he's down in the zone, he's as difficult to hit as anybody in baseball. Eventually, I think you're going to see this bullpen settle down. I know there's a good look at Archie Bradley. How about that thing right there, Cliff? I don't even know if I would 5 years if I could grow something like that.
Well said.
Oh, man.
Strike bottom of the zone to Brad Miller. Yeah, Archie Bradley's a fun personality too. Look at the line for Miller this year as a Philly. 309, 5 homers. He's been hot lately. We might see Jose Alvarado for the Phillies. He's heating up. Miller in the air, and Dickerson camps under it. Both runners retreat.
Well, I made a case for Ranger Suarez for the YouTube player of the game, but this guy walking up right now can change that in one swing. It's pretty much been the Rhys Hoskins show. Hit a big home run after getting knocked down in his second at bat. Made a great play on a fly ball to center field for an inning double play, and a good gun down of a runner trying to go from second to third. Base hit right here, and Scott, I might have to change my thinking for the YouTube player of the game.
They actually changed the play to lead off this 8th inning. Rafael Marchand on second now gets a double instead of the single and the E9, so no error charged against Duvall. I think the birdie was helping to make a case out there in right center. Hey, just give him the double. Whatever you say, birdie. Not John.
Yeah, I put double down and then I changed it, but see, that's not my scoring card, man.
Sorry. Hoskins in the 4th. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Go long.
And he knew it as soon as he hit it. Wow. This ball is torched. 106.5 exit velo. Projected distance 403 feet. Boy, that'd have to feel awfully good after getting knocked down your wallet a couple of pitches before that.
Yeah, you see his boys behind him in the dugout showing mad love.
I liked the approach from the Phillies bench too, including Bryce Harper. They let him cool down for a couple minutes, and then they were like, okay, so tell me about that experience. That goes away, and both runners move up. It gets past Leon.
This is a breaking ball here from Flora. Just the elements. I'm not sure how this will be scored. My gut feeling tells me this might be a pass ball unless he was crossed up. I'm not sure if he was trying to framed that one. That ball is really a pitch, and normally he handles that pitch right there.
Pass ball. Do you give Hoskins the base, or I guess you got 2 strikes?
No, you can't with her. No. You have the lefty Odubel Herrera coming up next. They've crowded Hoskins. They're trying to throw that 2-seam fastball in. They've gone fastball in, breaking ball away.
On the ground, and it's handled by Diaz to put away Rhys Hoskins and sit down the side. So the Marlins bullpen doing its job, and now it's up to the offense. 2-1 mid-8.
Jim Leland has waited through 34 seasons in professional baseball for this, trailing 2-1 as his
with massive amounts of data points to reveal new insights, taking you deeper into the game than ever before. Google Cloud is the official cloud technology of Major League Baseball, and StatCast, powered by Google Cloud, is showing us not 1, but 2 home runs off 100+ from Jazz Chisholm.
Well, this is why they call him the Jazz Man. This is upper tank off of Jacob deGrom. How about this expected HR distance, 402 feet? Cliff, this looks like 502 feet to me. Then he takes Alvarado deep at the bank. This was ultra impressive.
Yeah.
95 miles an hour on the exit velo.
That was by his eyes, too.
Speaking of Alvarado, he's going to come in and piggyback off of Suarez, who was terrific. 3 scoreless innings, and the Phillies going to turn it over to a guy that can bring some noise from the left side. You look at the ERA of 3.38, fine. 3-0 1-loss record, but boy, this guy can bring it with some movement. 98 to 101 miles an hour with nasty movement. He's a nightmare for lefties. If he's throwing strikes, he's nearly impossible to elevate the ball off of good fastball slider combination. If the Phillies are going to stay relevant the rest of the year, this bullpen is going to have to pick it up, and this is one of the main guys, Alvarado, helping bridge that gap to get the ball to Neris in the 9th inning.
Nick Maton at second base now on the double switch. Brad Miller was at second base to start the game, so he takes a seat. Pitcher spot is now the number 2 hole. Eighth inning action on YouTube. Jorge Alfaro, the pinch hitter. There's 100.
Oof. That's tough sitting there. You're waiting around for opportunity maybe to pinch hit, and this is the guy you get throwing 100. I don't care if you're from the left side.
Well, you couldn't ask for the lineup to be situated any better if you're Joe Girardi. Both the moves he's made brought Suarez in at an opportune time where the Marlins elected to keep Pablo Lopez in the game. Big strikeout and a sac fly from Jesus Alfaro. Part of the order here, you're getting a guy that hasn't hit a home run all year. Lineup situated pretty well, 9-1-2.
Yeah, just returned this week from the injured list, a strained hamstring, and that's 100. Didn't do much with it. Maton newly into the game at second, makes the play, and Alfaro heads back to the bench.
You know, this guy's the closest thing, Cliff, that we've seen to Zach Britton, who's now pitching with the Yankees. Go back to Britton's days when he was throwing bullets for the Orioles, big power sinker. This guy throws harder than Britton. His breaking ball at times is a little bit better too. You wonder how he could have an ERA of 3 with the stuff that you see. Powerhouse fastball, Cliff, a big heavy fastball too.
I think that's the biggest thing for me, D, is the heavy fastball he throws. It's almost for hitting when you're walking up, you're thinking, do I move up in the box towards him? No, he throws 100, so I have to stay back. And that heavy ball sort of induces a lot of ground balls that we just saw right there with Alfaro.
You know, we touched about 2 things that kill you in the bullpen: home runs and walks. As walks has been one of the main issues for Alvarado. 46 walks in a little over 55 innings last couple of seasons. So when he's throwing strikes, he's nearly impossible. But when the roof starts to fall in on him a little bit, it's almost self-induced with the base on balls.
This is Jose Devers. And now a ball and a strike. And Christina, I know the Marlins are about to head up to Boston. That means family time, right?
Indeed, Scott. So Jose Devers, 21-year-old rookie, the number 8 prospect in Miami's system, will be reuniting with his older cousin. I think you guys may have heard of him, Rafael Devers, third baseman for the Red Sox, this weekend when the Marlins begin a 3-city trip.
Rafael Devers has a famous homer off 100+ as well. Aroldis Chapman, his rookie year, lefty on lefty crime. And Devers has been one of the better hitters in baseball since he debuted. Talking about Rafael. Jose, a different style. Good bat to ball skills. We saw that yesterday in the 8th inning on a pitch at 97 up and away. Acquired in the Stanton trade in 2017. Devers is also lightning fast. You had a big day yesterday, Cliff. And you and I were talking before the game. How would you feel if you weren't in the starting 9 after what you just did yesterday? Young guy. That's what they do nowadays, but 3-2 coming up.
I wouldn't be happy. I'll tell you that. I mean, that's the game, though, is getting these guys to buy into the philosophy of what they're preaching from an organizational standpoint. And you know, when you have a good day, it doesn't mean you're playing tomorrow. It just means you had a good day today. So I guess it works. I don't know. Me personally, I got going to the office and holler at them a little bit.
Hey, did you see what I did with 97 up and away? Big knock in the 8th, and that missed. Now he sets the table for the Marlins with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Rhys Hoskins and Miguel Rojas had a little conversation, and we take you inside.
Who did your shoes?
So this company, Stadium Custom Kits.
Okay, yep,
doing a really good job.
Love that. They're loud, but they're cool.
Is that cool that you mic up and you hit a homer?
Yeah, that's cool. I might have said a couple bad words along the way, but sorry, Dad.
We dubbed it though, Rhys. It's all good. You didn't say anything wrong. Now he's going to want to be mic'd up every day.
And if you're Joe Girardi, that last base on balls is kind of what's been indicative of Alvarado during his career. He's nasty when he's throwing strikes. You get a situation you'd like if you're Girardi, you have Devers up there, really not much pop, but one thing he can do is run. And Alvarado unfortunately walks him, and if you're Joe Girardi, you just have to bear with this one. It kind of comes with Alvarado, the consistency and the command. It comes and goes.
He finds the zone. Rojas asking about it.
What makes it difficult at times too, Scotty, when you're lefty on lefty, he doesn't face a lot of lefties normally because of how nasty he is. So he's probably more comfortable pacing right-handers with that sinker, hard slider combination. Sometimes when you don't face a lot of lefties, your depth perception, where they stand in the batter's box, you're more comfortable facing righties because you face more righties than you do lefties.
And Devers can move. Alvarado keeping an eye on him.
This can be a very tricky balance as a reliever. You want to pay attention to Devers over at first, but you also have to be worried about Rojas swinging a big stick. I've often felt like you have to make your mind up when you come set. You're either going to first and you're going to try to make a throw, or you're going to home plate. You don't want to get caught in that area where you're indecisive. You're reading the base runner and dictating whether you're going to deliver the ball to the plate or not. I think you have to have your mind made up. Okay, I'm delivering the home. You be quicker to home. If he gets a good jump, he gets a good jump.
So then holding the ball, it throws you off as far as
Just having that rhythm.
It does, and it really varies, Cliff, from pitcher to pitcher. You can see he doesn't seem like he minds holding the ball.
Base runners this season against Jose Alvarado, or in his career, are 8 for 8 in the stolen base department.
Yeah, a couple of things you can do to stop the running game. You can vary your holds and looks, and one of the other keys is getting ahead, strike one. We don't see as many pitch outs during baseball right now. You're certainly, if you're Girardi, you're not going to pitch out right here on a 2-1 count. Cliff, that's why hitting is so tough. You have a guy that can't really find the strike zone, and he drops a 2-1 slider on you.
Man, I'm telling you, effectively, wow, I hated those guys, man. You throw one down 100, then the next one you get that over, you're like, really?
So if you're Rojas right now, you're thinking, wait a minute, he just flipped up a 2-1 breaking ball for a strike. But always in the back of your mind, you're guarding against that 100-mile-an-hour bowling ball sinker that he throws.
And he'd love a ground ball here hit sharply. Rojas sticks with it. Hey, COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and get the vaccine to help get us all get back to doing what we love together. Visit MLB.com/COVID-19 resources for more information. Garrett Cooper on deck. That's a great sign for Marlins fans. He was a late scratch about 20 minutes before yesterday's game with right oblique tightness. And we spoke to Don Mattingly this morning, who told us he wasn't in the lineup, but said we'll see how he looks today. And clearly he's doing okay.
Here comes the sinker.
Spiked it. Good stop by Marchand. He's so smooth back there.
Yeah, Joe Girardi told us before the game his catching skills and catch and throw. He's very advanced for a young player. They think he's going to have a bright future. Maybe stuck behind JT Realmuto. Does a great job there. A backhand on a 99-mile-an-hour, let's call it a 55-foot sinker from Alvarado.
You can have that catching stuff. Yeah.
We just saw the big man, JT Realmuto, still on the injured list. Didi on the IL, JT, Bryce, McCutchen out again today. Payoff pitch, missed. 2 on for the Marlins in the 8th. And here comes Garrett Cooper on a 10-game hit streak, 444 during that span, including this walk-off blast on May 22nd, 5 days ago against the Mets.
Nothing better right there, I'm telling you. When you got that little hop and put the 305 up, and let's go home, boys.
I know it's a global audience, so 305, that's the area code.
Well,
down in the area.
Yeah, if I have to tell you that, then my bad.
I'm just helping everyone out besides the Marlins fans.
True that. Phillies defense right now, they can't help Mr. Alvarado. He can't help himself. That's his 15th walk and 16 in the 3rd inning so far this year. It's become a problem. This part of the order very favorable, and he's running himself now into some dicey water. It's never been a question about the stuff. It's been a question about harnessing that stuff. We've seen him have the ability to flip up a 2-1 breaking ball for a strike. That sinker that he has is so good, but the inability to command that sinker is making it really tough.
Cooper's been having some fun in the season series against Philly pitching. Swings through 100.
I know Philly fans, it can be awful frustrating. You can throw first pitch strike for 100, and then the ball just starts dancing all over the strike zone. Might be one of those guys you're better off just sitting down the middle of the plate and just say, hey, bring it to him, because nothing he throws is straight.
Check over to first, back pick attempt, and he got him. What a play by the rookie Rafael Marchand, and it looks like Miguel Rojas might have hurt one of his fingers there on the slide attempt back. Sneaky move by the Phillies catcher. We'll see if Rojas is okay.
Oh, man.
No.
Boy, this is a great play and a great tag by Rhys Hoskins. He lets the ball travel in his swipe tag, and I think that's what got Rojas.
Ouch.
What a terrific throw by Marchand, a la St. Louis Cardinals backstop right there, right? Looks like Mr. Molina.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Nice.
Yachty loves the back pick. So does Wilson Contreras of the Cubs.
There's another look at it right here. Look at the quick feet to catch and throw. A great job by Hoskins to get himself in a position to throw that tag down, and it looks like the left hand of Rojas. Pointer finger.
Dislocation.
Yeah, we saw injury like that to Marcell Ozuna the other day. We hope Rojas is okay.
You know, when you're struggling to score runs, Cliff, like the Marlins are, just a little bit too frisky at first base with Rhys Hoskins playing off the base. Rojas trying to get a little extra real estate. More than likely think if a ball is hitting the gap, he wants to score from first.
No antsy, and you know that's coming from a guy who was a catcher for his career, and Joe Girardi, the manager for the Phillies, saying, "Look, let's put it on right now."
Rhys Hoskins continues to build his case for the YouTube player of the game.
That's right. It's a big play to get rid of one runner. Devers on second, though, representing the potential tying run, and he can fly. Cooper takes the pitch. Oh, that's a close pitch.
Great take, though. I mean, coming off the bench, that's just so tough. He missed a pitch prior to that. Fastball away, he's a little upset with himself, and that right there is just a good take. And this is the last thing you want if you the Phillies, is a guy getting in the boxes, getting comfortable in their bat.
I'm not sure how comfortable he is throwing that back foot slider down and in, Clip, but this might not be a bad time to try to just bury this breaking ball down at the back leg.
Cooper on the ground through the right side. Devers rounding third, and he will score and tie the game at 2. Garrett Cooper off the bench comes through for the Marlins.
Might be a case of just one too many fastballs. I know that's his bread and butter pitch, but that ball didn't have much sink on it, Cliff. They were looking for something down in the zone. It almost appeared like a four-seam fastball. Here's another look at it. See, this ball just kind of tracks middle. And a great job of hitting, not trying to pull that pitch by Cooper. You see that hole vacated on the right side. Phillies bullpen continuing to struggle, and Alvarado with the walks, as we touched on, 15 walks and 16 in the third. Eventually comes back to bite him again.
Just like last night, a 2-out rally from the Marlins in the 8th inning.
And credit Cooper, just the swing, the swing he took prior to that base hit. Now I know it was a pitch in between there where he took, but he fouled off a ball. It's sort of a big hack, and he's like, I'm not gonna be able to get my timing coming off the bench. Let me shorten up and get rewarded with a knock RBI to tie this game. Hats off to him.
It would be first and third if Marchand didn't hook up Hoskins with this baseball.
Yeah, this is going to be another one, depending on how this thing ends up. If you're Joe Girardi, talk about frustration. You get a big play by your catcher, Marchand, on the pickoff of Rojas. You're feeling pretty good. You have a 2-strike count on Cooper. Inability to make pitches when it counts.
Duvall's had some clutch hits for this team. 3rd in the NL in RBIs with 33 on the season. 2-1. Now 3-1.
He's just too good on the mound for me to be all around and be this wild. His stuff is so good, Dan. It's tough to watch when you have this type of stuff and you struggle to not be able to throw strikes.
And it makes it tough as a manager too, Cliff, because you're not sure. Do you go out and get him? Do you leave him out there? Do you let him fight through it and get out of his own way?
That's the third free pass issued by Jose Alvarado in the 8th.
16 walks and 16 in the 3rd. And Joe Girardi going to have to go to that bullpen against Brogdon up. You really couldn't have planned this out any better if you're the Phillies. To start this bottom of the 8th inning, it was 9-1-2. Very favorable matchups. You go back and I go back to that walk of Devers. You have a left-on-left situation, a guy that really he was going to have a difficult time putting the ball in play. You walk him, you walk Rojas. Self-inflicted.
Look at the bullpen this series.
You won't win a series that way. Absolutely not. 9 earnings? No.
Marlins trying to take 3 out of 4 here in Miami, putting a lid on this series. Lewin Diaz just called up today. Nick Neidert to the injured list with right biceps inflammation, and right down Broadway from Alvarado. First start of 2021 for Diaz. Cooper had the big knock to tie up the game, and then a walk to Duvall. He's going right at him.
We'll see if Diaz can shorten that swing up like Cooper did here, because that was too big of a hack on 100. Left on left.
Also, they're working Alvarado. Season high 30th pitch coming up. His career high is 34 in 2017.
Well, see, Dan, I just don't understand that pitch call right there. As far as selection, I should say, as far as just you threw 2 fastballs, one 99, the second one 99. You get a swing and miss, guy's late, and then you say, I'm going to try to trick him with the off-speed pitch.
No, I'm with you, Cliff. It's just the inability to command the strike zone, and that's been a problem for Alvarado. Love the arm. Not enough of those.
Diaz gone fishing, but the fish pick up the run they need in the 8th to even up the score at 2 in Miami.
That is nice.
Whoa. Pink stripes, I like it. Oh, I need a pair of shoes for this. You get Kings, huh? Miami. You know, that's what we need. Swaggy, different colors. Encendido. Let's go. Wow.
Scenes content on the Philadelphia Phillies YouTube channel. Visit youtube.com/Phillies to follow the team today.
Well, this is it to Cooper right here. The pitch sequence from Alvarado. Powerhouse heater at 100. He backs it up with another good fastball at 98. He runs another, looked like a cutter up at 94. Then center cut, he was lucky to get away with that one. Up in the strike zone, another one, 99. And then this is a bullet that he hits with that vacated hole. And you can see Cooper loves it. Not an easy thing to do to hit a ball off Alvarado.
Quiet April, big May, especially against the Phillies. Garrett Cooper is in right field. And Adam Duvall is going to move to center. He can play all 3 for the Marlins this year. We'll go through the rest of the changes for the Marlins defense in just a moment. Yimi Garcia is in the game. Yeah, there are quite a few changes. We're not at the park, but we'll get them for you soon. 1.31 ERA for Yimi. He's been inserted to the closer role, and not just him, but the entire Marlins bullpen has clicked even more so since that move was made. Picked up the save last night. Quick rest, probably maybe 5-6 hours. You hit the pillow, and you're back at the park.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I should sleep at the park.
Did you actually?
Every once in a while, I mean, you're talking about noon start, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sense of going to the house.
I agree.
Good food. As long as it wasn't, any rodents or anything,
It's a pretty new park here in Miami.
Yeah, it's good there.
Yeah, it's great. Where do you sleep, though?
It didn't matter.
Just find a spot.
Yeah, couch.
Odubel Herrera is in the cleanup spot for the second time in his career. He doubled back in the 4th and later scored on a sac fly. See if the Marlins bullpen has a shutdown inning after a key run in the 8th. Fresh ball game in the 9th.
Wondering right here if Joe Girardi will give Herrera the green light. You'd like to see him get on. This guy can run a little bit. Good part of the order coming up. Herrera, Bohm, and Matt Joyce.
Quick, what do? Do you let him swing?
Well, the way he swing the bat today, yes.
Oh, you took it.
This guy has a pretty good idea of the strike zone when he's swinging well.
There's your defense now. Birdie back to third. Devers at short. Diaz and Diaz on the right side.
Look at left field.
Jorge Alfaro.
It's a pretty nasty pitch. I still think, Cliff, that's the best pitch in baseball. 95 miles an hour. Knee high on the corner. There's not a lot you could do with that one. A little counterproductive, though, to the way that the Marlins defensively are playing. If Herrera can hit that ball to the left side, there's a lot of real estate there, and particularly in the outfield.
And a left fielder that doesn't know left field too well. That one is struck solidly to right field, and it is off of Cooper's glove. Herrera is heading for 3. And on his horse and in there. Head first slide with a leadoff triple in the 9th. Odubel Herrera powers up, big ballpark, holds it, but he ends up at 3rd.
Center field has been a problem for the Phillies, but Odubel Herrera slowly but surely rounding himself back into form. He takes this 3-2 cutter. You can see him trying to cut this ball in on him.
Wow.
Keeps his hands in and comes within a few feet of hitting this one out of the ballpark. Right here, he doesn't even pick up the third base coach, Cliff. He's just reading that one, and he makes it easy.
And that's what you taught to do. Then that in itself is your decision as a base runner. You see where the ball is. You see what happens to the right field in that situation. And once you make that decision, there's no reason to look at the third base coach, look up, slow down a little bit. It sort of throws you off. He said, look, I'm making a decision. I'm getting to third base, and good base running by Odubel Herrera right there.
And a young hitter, but he knows how to drive in a run. Alec Bohm. 452 last year with runners in scoring position, was best in baseball.
So hard to do at times, Cliff, as a young hitter. You come out in a spot like this, you get a little bit over anxious. You have the count in your favor there, 1-0, and he swings at a breaking ball way off the plate. Pretty good pitch by there, Garcia. Throws the 1-0 breaking ball way off the plate, and he gets Bohm to chase it. Right. Doubles up with a nice 96-mile-an-hour fastball in on the fists.
That's what happens when you're young. You swing at that pitch away. Now you're thinking, well, now I have to be a little bit more reserved, and you're more tentative. Whoa, that was a hack.
Well, if you're Garcia, by that reading right there, that swing's going to tell me, Cliff, I think it's time to go back to that breaking ball down and away. And he was right on that 96-mile-an-hour heater. He's not sure what's going through Garcia's mind right now, but that might have been the last heater that Bohm's going to see for me in a while.
He goes 44% with the four-seamer, otherwise mostly slider, changeup. There's another fastball. Or make that curveball is his third most used pitch, then the changeup. Seeing more variety this year from Yimi Garcia with the Arsenal.
As you touched on earlier, Cliff, this guy's been really good. 9 for 10 in save ops. He's been throwing the ball really well. Only 14 walks, too, to go with the 20 2/3. That's the key.
He was awesome last year, too.
What good eye right there.
Good take.
That is a tremendous take. After you've chased a 1-0 breaking ball away, you get the count back. A little bit, you're digging yourself back into a good, favorable count.
Do you waste one more pitch or you go after him?
By that take right there, I'd probably go back with that fastball inside. Tell you what, this is where you have to tip a cap, Cliff, to a young hitter. Bohm chased the one pitch out of the zone, but boy, he has really reeled it back in. This is a terrific at bat.
Yeah, he's dialed it in. You know, when you think about Bohm and where he's at in his career, he's gotten that guy in from third base with less than 2 outs 68% of the time, fellas, and league average is around 50%. That shows you his eye with guys in scoring position is really good as he strikes out, obviously, when we give him love.
Garcia goes right after him and picks up the punch out.
That was really a backup cutter, middle. Might have been just a change of speeds from Garcia. This is a good pitch to hit. This is intended to be down and away, and it's center cut. He kind of gets on the side of this breaking ball. Just a little bit out front, it's Bohm. You can see right here the bat head out front.
One gone. Here's the veteran, Matt Joyce.
They're putting him on.
Yeah, they won't deal with him. Torreyes is on deck, and Torreyes is 0 for 3. Joyce takes first base. Intentional walk. Double play depth from the infield. 9th inning action. 1 out. Marlins tied up this game in the bottom of the 8th.
From a guy that's pitched the 9th inning, it's guys like Torreyes at times that are the most difficult to get. Guys that aren't looking to do a whole lot of damage, just want to put the ball in play. Good things happen. You get guys up there that are swinging, have big long swings, are trying to do damage. Sometimes they're easy to navigate around. You can go breaking balls down and away, fastballs up and in. Guys like Torreyes just trying to put the ball in play.
He's a good fundamental baseball player, and you never know. Maybe a squeeze attempt here. No, it's a comebacker to the pitcher. He turns around and gets one at second, and they don't turn it. The run scores, and the Phillies grab the lead.
I want to see that one again.
I'm not sure where Garcia didn't go home with that first, right? That would have been an easy 1-2-3 double play. This is going to be bang bang. I think the Marlins might want to take another look at it.
It was really close.
Of course you're going to challenge. 9th inning.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, put him on. Yeah. I thought he was out.
This is a replay that could decide the game. Garcia turns around, goes to second for the force. Herrera scurries home and scores. And we want to know if the throw to first was in time to get Torreyes. What was the play there, Dan? Do you hold the ball and look back the runner for a second and go to first?
With the young pitcher right here, this ball's hit. This is one hopper right back to the mound. This would have been a perfect home to first double play. You like to have a little bit of communication.
Safe at first. Run scores. Well, there was no force at home, and Herrera kind of waited.
Yeah, he did. Let's see.
Ooh, that is close, right?
Yeah. Let's see this thing. Safe.
He beats it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. I thought they were labeled. It was first and third.
And Herrera waited for the throw.
Great job by Torreyes. You know, it's real easy to do that. When you hit one like that, you drop your head and you're disgusted. But boy, he did a great job hustling. It's that leadoff triple for Herrera. Phillies back in business.
Fielder's choice, RBI to Reyes. And that leads us to Marchand.
That's just great hustle. See the boys on the bench are ecstatic for him, and
Hector Neris swarming for Philadelphia, their closer, with a 1-run lead here in the 9th.
There's another look at it right here. And when you look at it again for the second or third time, you wonder if they would have had a shot at Herrera at third base. He was quite a bit down the line. You can only get off third as far as the third baseman was playing, and Garcia made that play, and I think he had his mind up that he was going to turn two. It might have been better off just checking and trying to make a shot at Herrera at third base. It looked like he had to play at third.
Yeah, catch him in a rundown. Torreyes has decent speed, and there's your strikeout for Garcia. But Odubel Herrera starts off the 9th with a triple. He's electric. He scores on the fielder's choice, and the Phillies have the lead back as we head to the bottom of the 9th in South Florida. Depot Park, it is spacious. Odubel Herrera in the 9th powers up to right field, and it would have been a home run at Citizens Bank Park, but not in this big ball yard.
you know what though? Take that trip.
Yeah, it scored the go-ahead run for the Phillies, and now Hector Neris is coming in to try and shut the door.
And he's been pretty good. 8 for 10 in save-offs on the year. Good ERA at 2.08. There's another guy, powerhouse splitter, good fastball to go along with it. Phillies bullpen's been a little bit of great, a little bit not so good. Suarez was terrific. 3 scoreless, no walks, 3 punch-outs. Alvarado not so much. 3 walks. Gave up a run there in the 8th inning to tie things. Turn it over to Neris. He's their guy. Phillies are going to have to find somebody that can bridge the gap to get the ball to Neris.
Maybe it's the new lieutenant, Ranger Suarez.
Maybe see Ranger Suarez in a starting rotation.
That's true.
At a ballpark near you in Philadelphia. I think this guy has a heat. Getting back to Suarez. 3 really good pitches. Low heartbeat. Commands the strike zone. Lots to like about Suarez.
First pitch, Leon swinging, and it's a foul ball.
Phillies having Rhys Hoskins guarding the line there, that no doubles defense. There's a change of thought. Some teams like to do that, some teams don't. With a guy like Leon, who doesn't run all that well, that ball's fair for sure. That's 2 bases. Phillies have done a lot of things right defensively this afternoon.
Oh, that's dirty.
That's his primary pitch, that splitter.
It is, and it's so good at times. It reminds me a little bit of former closer Brad Lidge. And you look at it, and Brad Lidge had more of a slider that looked like a split finger. But this guy's ball, he can make it appear to go down and away. At times it'll go down and in, and there's the straight down one at 83 miles an hour. The key is he throws hard enough too. If he can get strike one, expand that strike zone a little bit.
Hitters are 6 for 43 against the splitter this year. It's a 140 batting clip.
You know, once again for the Phillies, the part of the batting order is coming up that you'd like to see. You've got 6, 7, 8, 9. So it really hasn't been the middle of the order that had caused the bullpen some issues. Suarez was terrific.
You know, with all the talk the last couple of days on the Cardinals and Mike Shildt and everything that's going on, Guy who yesterday had to have his hat taken away. Look in there's his hat, DP. I'm just saying, with all the stuff that's going on in the game, there's a lot of attention paid to the bill of these guys' hats and what they're wearing. And you know, what Mike was saying yesterday was basically, if you're going to police his guys, then you have to police the whole squad, because that's how his player's hat looked. The one that was confiscated by Joe West yesterday in St. Louis.
He wasn't fooling anyone there. Payoff.
Oh, that's dirt.
No.
Whoa.
Ball 4. Sandy Leon is going to lead off the Marlins' 9th with a walk.
That's the 7th walk for the Phillies this afternoon. And boy, this is a close pitch. Maybe catches the corner. His fastball just off the plate. Marchand tries to do a good job of framing it, bringing it back into the strike zone. Had some issues in the 8th inning. Alvarado walked 3. Certainly, if you're Joe Girardi, last thing you want is a leadoff walk, but that's what they're dealt with.
Home plate umpire Mike Malinsky said, no, sir. And on that one, he calls a strike. Similar width there.
I mean,
it's a tough job.
It is a tough job. And look, by no means do I ever want to be an umpire and calling balls and strikes. That's just the, you know, the back and forth that you hear from players about strike zones and how they change from a bat to a bat, and it's tough to sort of know what the strike zone is and expect your guys as managers to know the strike zone consistently.
Leon on Diaz, 0-1. Now it'll be 0-2. Diaz has put together some quality at bats. I know the batting line's not there, but last week or so, even today, a couple walks, and then a ball sent to left field that was run down by Roman Quinn, who is not your average left fielder in the speed department. He can really move.
And now is where, if you're Neris, you don't want to dance around. If you can, in this at bat, initiate some contact or a swing and a miss. Was able to get ahead right away early. The more pitchers that they see, the better off the chance of putting the ball in play. There's a good split.
Yeah, he got him.
I know it's frustrating as a Phillies fan at home. You're wondering, you see the stuff from Alvarado and Neris. You're just wondering why you could get the 2 strikes and not put hitters away. And this is a nasty split. You can see that tumble action.
Yeah, but that's just trusting your catcher and Marchand, and knowing that you can call that pitch and not let it get past you and have a guy at second base with a pass ball. So that's a good call by the youngster behind the dish.
It's important to have an excellent catcher for Hector Neris in the 9th. John Birdie, left side. Bohm trying to make it 2, and they do. Game over. Phillies take it 3-2 and grab a couple games in a 4-game series. They split the series. Neris gets the ground ball he needs after the strikeout.
Well, a lot has been talked about the Phillies defensively all year. They've been very subpar, but this might have been the best defensive game they played all year. A couple of nifty plays in the outfield. Roman Quinn made a couple of really nice plays. Rhys Hoskins on a cutoff there, and a nice 5-4-3 double play turned by Bohm. Another look at it here. Just tries to beat this fastball into the ground, and a good turn. And a nice pick by Rhys Hoskins. Bohm does a good job of getting rid of it quick. Maton with a good turn and a nice scoop at first. Rhys Hoskins made that look awful easy.
Birdie can fly. That's a nice play. And that's one of the themes for you, the Phillies defense. But you have to actually pick an individual for the YouTube player of the game. Spencer Howard, Ranger Suarez, Rhys Hoskins, or Odubel Herrera. We'll go over it in the post-game show. Hit it.